own in our time of need. So, without further ado, let us jump into where we're at here. We've got, of course, Theo, Toot, Potato, and Zan with us this week. This is who we'll be following along with. So, where we left off, the group had traveled from the town of Sin to the city of Leerston. Along the road, they met a Dukaze elf named Darcy's, a healer that they welcomed into their efforts to escort Mystic J to the Leer Citadel, and remaining Mistle Council members. When they arrived, the council heard the story of the attack in Sin by the Acrylic Empire. The council decided they needed the night to mull it over and consider a plan of action in response. And so the group made their way to the Umfrey Tavern to pass the evening. While in the tavern, the group played a drinking game to learn a little more about each other. When most of the group went to bed, Tormund stayed back to inquire with the bartender about a woman he's looking for. When the bartender proved not much help, Tormund joined the rest, sleeping through the night. A dream then came to Kavian. It showed an unsettling scene relating to the very attack that left him and his brother were dead on the roadside. When he awoke, he believed himself to have been cursed or witched, and charged into Darcy's room to demand the elf lift whatever magic was used on him. The rest of the group heard the commotion and were able to calm Kavian down, convince him that Darcy's did nothing wrong. As the day started, Tormund and Darcy's made their way to the Leer Citadel to collect the reward and hear the plans of the council. After which, they disappeared into the crowds of Leerston in search of anything that might help Tormund on his quest. The rest of the group, Hera, Pipra, Kavian, and Valeri, have made their way to the fountain at the base of the stairs leading up to the looming Leer Citadel. That is where we pick up today. What would you like to do?
Very good recap, Cody. That was an eventful morning.
We know they left.
Potato, turn yourself
Dorman and... Oh.
You're very loud.
Is that better?
Bye.
A little bit more.
You were saying something? We cannot
There we
hear
go.
you.
Okay,
there we
you're
go.
good. You're good.
There we go.
That was a potato jump scare there.
True. That's
So
how
that was-
Darcy felt.
Quite an eventful morning. Are you okay, Kavian?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm sorry about earlier.
It's okay.
It's been a long day.
The past haunts most of us here.
Yeah,
Shall we away to the
I
palace?
like that. Yeah, sure, let's go.
Alright, we'll go up the stairs, I think.
Okay.
Pipra knows where she's going more than me, but yeah.
Yeah, I've just been walking, kind of glancing back.
All right. As you guys enter through the front doors to this main hall, familiar sight exposes itself in front of you. The massive internal sections of this main hall here that seem impossibly large compared to how it looks from the outside. And you see the big table, you see the various people walking throughout, the different guards or appearing to be hired mercenaries and such like that. And at the very end of it, of course, you see the familiar familiar seating arrangement of 5 seats. I want to use the word thrones, because don't quite live up to that. And in each of the 5 are sitting each of the 5 Mystic Council members as they on their duties through the day. You see, they were just engaged with talking with somebody who appears to be a merchant of some sort. They've finished their conversation, and he's now kind of walking back towards the front door, still a ways away from you guys because it's a really big hall. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm gonna go straight to business. Well, I'm personally gonna try and follow up on what we talked about last evening. I'm gonna just try and approach the big Mystic Five.
Okay.
Same.
Yep.
Payment.
All right. As you guys approach, Mystic J is the first to react. He stands up and kind of gives a little bow of respect to your group before sitting back down. And they all kind of turn their attention to you. And the one from the day previous in the center, who spoke to you guys previously, the older looking one, kind of straightens himself up and begins to speak with you guys. We took the evening to let it sit and ponder what might be the best course of action. And although you guys have helped us this far, I feel as though I would be fortunate to have your help moving forward, should you choose to help us out with the plan that we've come up with. But we'll get
what
to
would that plan entail?
Oh, we will get to that in just a moment. But of course, as promised, he glances over to the side to somebody that you can't see and kind of gives a little nod. And then you see this shorter man of Ezra origin kind of walk out from the side. He's dressed pretty commonly. No real notable features in the clothing or anything like that. As if they might be someone who just kind of works in the Citadel. And they're carrying a handful of little pouches. And as they approach, they give one to each of you guys. And they just scurry off to where they came from. And as you guys are given these pouches, you hear the clink in them. You can tell it's a decent bit of coin there. And as he walks back off into the distance, the center of the Mystic Council members speaks up again. 100 gold pieces for each of you for your assistance in a matter that supersedes any original idea you might have had about it. Returning Mystic J to us, he looks over and kind of gestures towards him, and ensuring his safe return, as well as fending off the attackers in Sin, is no small feat, and let us not diminish its importance. So, what you guys could potentially help us with is a journey, a dangerous one, and a long one, but one that needs to be undertaken nonetheless. We've decided that the best course of action he pauses for a second and kind of looks over at the others and continues. You can tell he's a little flustered by the news that was brought yesterday and being dragged into this conflict. And he continues. We must seek out Cloud King Rinky of Ithaca.
Ithaca. That's some way away.
Indeed.
Amen. Say no more.
Before you
Well,
confirm, this journey is a dangerous one indeed. As I see it, there are two options for you guys to attempt to get there. Should you take the first one, you'd be traveling up through the Arbori province of Elabet, but once there, the province is split in two as it sits, with the northern half being occupied by the Empire. And as such, to even get to the province of Ithaca, you would have to cross that line and through the occupied area get there. Would be quite dangerous. The alternative would take a lot longer, but perhaps is not nearly as dangerous. You could choose to travel through Morafel to the west. And you would have to cross a line of conflict halfway up Morafel, where the province sits divided amongst itself. This line of conflict would not be as dangerous. It's not as active. You would have to travel through the northern territories of Morafel and get yourself into Scoatia. This is favorable, as you, of course, have Pipra with you to make things a little easier. Once in Scoatia, you could then enter Empire-controlled territory, the province of Melalari, along a passive border, as they are not at conflict with each other, and this would make entering Empire territory a lot easier. This, of course, means you would then have to travel from the western end of Blutora all the way over to the eastern end across Empire territory. This would take quite a bit longer, but be less dangerous. Then again, I suppose there is a third option. Should you feel confident enough, I would definitely not suggest it. Traveling by sea, trying to navigate yourselves up to one of the ports in Ithaca. You would not have to travel across any war-torn lands per se, but you do run the risk of being attacked by war vessels, pirates, alike. Seas are very dangerous, of course, around Blutora, so I wouldn't recommend it. It would be the quickest, but of course these are all options for you to mull over. It really matters not to us at the end of the day how you choose to get there, just that you do indeed get there.
Well, we've certainly had our share of boats already without even stepping onto one.
Not the best experience with them.
Pipra, are you familiar with the area that he speaks of?
Through Morafel?
Yes.
I did pass through there on my way to Meritea. Not the friendliest country, but I did make it.
Well, perhaps if we have that advantage, you'd be able to lead us back there.
Yes. I could take us the long way around.
And what of you, Kavian and Thlari?
For me, it doesn't really matter. They're all our enemies, and the second they see our eyes, they'll probably react anyways.
Whatever your choice may be, he speaks up again. Your task in this quest, should you all agree to it, You must seek out Cloud King Rinky in Ithaca, of course, leader of the province for those who have never been or never heard. And the reason that we need to seek out the Dukaze elves are that we find ourselves in a very similar situation. With no allies and a massive, powerful empire looking to cause trouble, looking to take what we have, looking to encroach on our lands. Now, the reason we chose Ithaca, very specific one, as some of you may already know, us as Aru, and of course the Dukaze of elven origin, we all possess a very strong natural ability when it comes to magic. And this is something we, the council, believe play into our favor here, should this conflict further itself anymore. And as such, we believe it necessary to seek an alliance with the elves up in Ithaca. Now, as far as we're guessing, they should be pretty open, pretty quick to an alliance, as they've already lost parts of their territory to the Empire. They have no allies, and on all of their land borders, there is war. The only border that is not being torn apart is, of course, the one to the sea. They are in rough shape. And as such, they should be on board, even if a little convincing is still needed. Of course, we haven't always gotten along the best with the elves of the north, whether it be the Dukaze or the Yumaro, matters not. Either way, you should travel there, you should seek out the Cloud King, and you should inform him of our intentions, inform him of the situation. You need not hide any details, or play it necessarily strategically. Let them know that Maratea was attacked by the Empire, and let them know that you were sent by the Mystic Council to seek some sort of uniting our forces, of our efforts, and of our defenses.
Well, certainly I would be glad to extend the hand of friendship in your behalf. I'm not sure what I can say of my party members, but I certainly am in for this task.
I'm up for the
Well,
task as well. Putting an end to all this conflict is one of my primary goals here.
Aye.
what do you say, brother?
I think
We
this
go?
is a bit more dangerous for people of our persuasion.
It is a fair point, and one not to be glossed over. Of course, the Macabre and the Dukaze are at war with each other. I would understand if the two of you are not willing to take on such a task.
Would you
Or-
entrust your protection to me?
I need partial payment up front. We have a mother We need to make sure she gets out of war-torn areas to somewhere safe.
He kind of sits back and kind of strokes his beard a little bit. And glances
If
over.
we die, there's no one left to take care of her.
He glances over to his left to the Ezru woman. Not quite middle-aged, but not necessarily young either. With the long, curly, jet black hair and no colored tips or anything like that. Definitely stands out. She kind of looks back and just gives him a little nod. And he waves over the same person from before, the shorter Ezru man, who brings 2 more pouches with him. Gives them to both of the macabre men, Valeri and Kavian. Takes off again. And the center council member continues. Very well. This I can see through. In each of those bags are 200 gold pieces. Give those to your family as needed. Should suffice in finding them a more than adequate escape from the conflict.
Do it.
Right. I'm in. Thank you.
He nods and looks over again, kind of trades glances with the other council members. And sends the one all the way to his right, all the way on the far right side, just to the right of Mystic J. Another Ezru woman, younger in age. This is one with blonde hair and green tips on the ends of the hair. She walks away through a doorway into a room that you guys can't really see at this point, and after a couple moments, comes back out. And she walks up to you guys and gives each one of you a almost medallion type item. There are these little metallic shapes of these. It almost kind of resembles a phoenix, if you will, but maybe not quite. Something similar. It's this really ornate, really intricately designed kind of, I guess, medallion we'll use. And each one of them has the colors of Meritea imbued within. You see the light sky blue, you see the kind of grass green, lush forest, and you see the white kind of dividing the colors up, and they're kind of flowing throughout the design, which is mostly just a metallic silver color, and the colors just accent throughout. And it's a really beautiful little medallion. Each one of you gets handed one, and there's no way to wear it or anything. It's mostly something that you just keep on you, maybe put away in a pocket or something, and you kind of use as a symbol of your journey, you know, who you are assisting, who you're aiding, who you're working for. You get the idea that this is something that not many people get to get the honor of carrying and being able to kind of, you know, say is, you know, that they're directly working under the Mystic Council. What's that?
I was just gonna say, can I have a look at it closer, see if I is it enchanted or anything?
Roll a Arcana check.
I'd like to kind of like toss mine up a little bit and catch it. Say, can't wait for people to think I stole this.
I'll be looking at mine as well.
Mine's an 18 on my roll.
Okay. I take it you're rolling as well, Pippa?
I can roll Arcana. 13.
Okay. So, Pipra, as you kind of study yours, and you kind of look it over, you can tell it was definitely when it was being made, when it was being crafted, there was some sort of magic involved. It wasn't purely done by a smith of any kind, anything like that. Most of it was, but there was some sort of magic kind of in the creation process. You're not sure what. And Hera, as you study it over, you notice the same thing, that it was definitely crafted with a little bit of magic as well. And you study it a little closer. You just kind of let it sit there in your vision for a little bit and just wait for something to come to you as you're looking at it. And you're not sure quite what it is, but you cannot shake the feeling, this kind of gut feeling within yourself, that it has some sort of magical property, and it's something that will prove useful to you guys, but it's not something that will prove dangerous to anybody. You almost feel as though it has some sort of maybe healing property or some sort of something along those lines. You just can't quite figure out what it is.
I get good vibes from it.
You get
Got
good.
it.
You get good vibes from it. And so the woman steps back up to her chair, all the way on the right side for them, left side for you guys, looking up at the chairs. And the center Mystic Council member stands up again and looks over to the woman, and kind of motions for her. She stands up at her chair. Same woman that gave you guys the badges. He looks over at you guys and continues on. Well then, it is settled. For myself, Mystic Zurin glances over at the woman. Mystic Gigi looks over at Mystic J, who stands up. Mystic J looks over to his left, to the woman directly to his left, the jet black hair, who stands up. Mystic Lendel, and he looks all the way over to the farthest one on the other end, the other Ezeru man with dark brown hair that fades into a vibrant red. Stands up. And Mystic Turil. We, the Mystic Council of Meritea, grant you these medallions to serve as sort of badge of office, if you will. Not many get to work directly under us, but these are desperate times, and it's imperative that this takes place. So, seek out Cloud King Rinky of Ithaca and do your best to bring forth our proposal. And once you've done so, return back to us with whatever they should say, anything else we should know that you might discover along the way, anything that could prove useful to us now that the conflict has found its way so far south.
Certainly we hope to end the Empire's cruel reign, or at least bring about help that would do this.
Should you survive and successfully carry out this task, there is a huge reward that should be bestowed upon the 6 of you. Your friends stopped by earlier and heard it out. They've agreed to take on this quest, so long as you guys agreed. And they hurried out to do whatever it is that they were doing on their own.
They're brave souls. I'd imagine they would.
Very well. He nods and then they'll just kind of take their seat again, and as they take their seat, you kind of get the indication that ends the conversation, the interaction, and you guys are free to go about what you would.
I'll just bow, turn around, and start walking. I've got my little amulet in hand, and I'm kind of just still looking it over, trying to get a vibe read on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Medallion.
be
Oh.
following Hera out.
Medallion between my two fingers, right, my pointer finger and my middle finger. Hold it to my forehead, salute, turn around, walk out.
I'll just leave without saying a thing.
All right.
I
Yeah.
do wanna, the second we get out, I wanna pull Thleri to the side and a bit away from the others.
Okay.
And kind of whisper lowly to only speak to Thleri and say, I know what we're here to do, but this is a chance no other macabre will ever get. I know this isn't what we're supposed to do. This is what our father died for. This is... We get a chance to end Ishika. We can kill the king. We'll be right next to him. It just takes one arrow, okay? And all I need is for you to back me up. We'll stand in the throne room whenever we ask them for the alliance. One arrow is all it takes, and I need you to be there.
As they're stepped aside and talking, Hera, you don't notice anything, but
I'm not
Pipra,
noticing.
you do notice that they kind of go to the side, and you don't know what they say, but you just notice that Avian pulled Flavery aside, and they're talking in a kind of sort of excited manner, sort of an anxious manner as well. And you carry on with
They're
Hera.
being sus.
Okay.
So, Pipra, I am afraid to admit my adventuring expertise is largely in the past, upwards of 2 years ago. Even the last time I cast a spell in defense was 1.5 years prior. Tell me, our route, whichever one we may take, doesn't take us through Odelia, does it?
Can I roll a history check
Yes, you can.
to know a more detailed route or like what they're talking about? I rolled a 16. But I had to pull up the map because I was trying to figure out what pass this was. I was like, all right, well, if we go this way, what's it gonna do? And this way.
Yeah, I had the map up on my phone there.
Yeah. I pulled it up as well. So exactly where is the path through Morafell?
Okay. And I can pull up. That is the wrong screen. Go.
Also, at what point would be crossing back over? Like, would we be completely through?
So if you direct your attention to this stream,
Okie doke.
this should work right. But I only have 2 monitors, so if it's scuffed, let me know. But
Alright,
that should
scuff
show
check.
you a map of Morafell in present day,
Okay.
with the war waging on. If you direct your attention to the southern borders, you can see a couple of roads that lead into Meritea, where I have the mouse. And so whichever route you take would entirely be up to you. Both, of course, come from Meritea. The quicker one would definitely be the northern road. And you travel up through the Badlands in the south until you eventually reached the arid deserts of central Morafell. And as you approached the line of conflict between the Arberic Concord and the Balmoral Accord, there likely wouldn't be much conflict going on, as you were told. And it would be towards the northern ends of the deserts, and would be right around the Session River, where shortly after it fades into a savanna, much like that of Meritea. Now, there's a lot of roads, a lot of different connections, and a lot of places to potentially go through while in Morafell, but at the end of the day, you're going to want to get yourself to either one of the roads that lead into Scoatia, whether it's the one just past Scofell, which could prove to be more of a hotspot for war activity, given how close it is to the border to Malilari. The safer route for sure would be the one far to the south that heads into Scoatia towards the capital city of Diosli, where you are miles and miles and miles away from any potential conflict, should you choose this route.
May I also like bring up any knowledge I have of the other path?
So the path you would have taken to get down to Meritea would be the one that cuts through Intermore and Antieri.
Oh, I
and on the
was
southern one. Do you mean
I
the
was
other
meaning
option? Route?
through Illibet.
You are not familiar with those territories.
Okay. I haven't seen maps or anything.
So you would not travel through Odelia unless you chose to do so. However, if you were to travel through Odelia, the roads would be much harsher. And when you eventually crossed back in across the line of conflict into Morafell, it's a lot more likely to find conflict on the border.
Alright. And so if we go through Morafell into Scoatia, from Scoatia into the other territories, how are we making our way back to Ithaca?
So, let me go ahead and pull up the map of Scoatia here.
Because I'm trying to figure out, are we cutting through Eustrea or are we going all the way up and it's completely through red territory?
I will show you just... So, once you're in Scoatia, again, depending on which road you take, you can see where they lead the province here. The quicker one would definitely be the more northern road, but of course, you run a little bit more risk. A lot of balancing there. There's two roads that lead into the province of Melilari, both equally as safe, as the entire border between Melilari and Scoatia is a passive border. Not at war, there's no conflict, Scoatia is completely removed from everything going on. So whichever road you take is completely up to you guys. Once in Melilari, you will want to avoid the province of Eustrea, as all of its borders with the Empire is heavy conflict zones. So what you guys are going to want to do, should you take this route, is through Scoatia, into Empire-controlled territory, the province of Melilari, travel up through the rest of Empire-controlled territory, provinces of Melivari and Struton, which will then lead you into Ithaca. Now, of course, you could also diverge path a little bit through Kinalora, which will also take you into Ithaca. It is completely up to you guys. But you will want to avoid Eustrea as much as possible, as that is arguably the most war-torn area on the continent.
Okay. And the king, is he in the Crown Province or is he in, like, Lethio?
So, go ahead. This. On the map of Ithaca here, why don't you all make a history check?
History check. Let's go.
All of us.
Yep.
That would be 13 from me.
18.
Oof.
Kiwi.
And
A natural one. Oh no.
Y'all don't know squat about.
I think we go east from here.
I would like to say, if we could stop by home. This is Zan speaking. I don't remember where we're from.
I was about to ask
Exactly.
that.
Tato wrote that part.
Oh my god, dude, hold up. Hyrel, we're from Hyrel.
And from where do you hail from? Where do you call home?
Let me get a more detailed
Tyrell.
map of Laura, because I don't know where that is. I'm just going through my files to the maps I have.
It's a small village, you wouldn't have heard of it.
Repeat the name.
Hyrel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean it's doable if we want to go through there.
So, with your history rolls, the only one who is familiar with the cities and everything like that is Hipra, who
I have been through many of these places.
who knows that the Cloud King resides in the city of Vizil. And map should be on stream right now, if I'm not mistaken. We just confirm that on Toot's computer if she wants to.
Vizio.
Search that. Okay. And through the word thus far, the Acrylic Empire has annexed much of western Ithaca, all the way up to the Vizil mountain range, right at the footsteps of the city of Vizil. And so the province is in rough shape. And should they lose that city, where the Cloud King resides, could spell absolute disaster and chaos for the rest of its people.
Repeat the last part. I'm sorry, my brain's not working too well.
Should the city of Vizil fall, as it's now right on, or the empire's right on the footsteps of the city, as they've already annexed much of western Ithaca. Should the city fall, it will surely spell disaster and absolute chaos for the rest of the people of Ithaca.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it'd just be kind of relaying the best route, kind of describing it, where we'd go through.
I'm
Now,
just gonna say,
Hera,
yeah.
if you want, you can roll a history check on your familiarity with Elabet, because there
Okay.
is possible familiarity there.
That would be a 13.
Okay, so you would be familiar enough to potentially lay forth an option through there, should you want to take a look at it.
I would like to take a look at it. I would like to relay potential knowledge about Elabet. I'd like to, from whatever experience I may have as well, a refugee in that area.
Okay. So,
And Potato and I both rolled for Laura.
The very long way around.
What are you trying to figure out about Kinelora?
Just if there's a clear path.
You would be. I would say you wouldn't have to roll. You'd be very familiar. And
Okay.
Kinelora is, regardless of route you take, a little out of the way if you take the first option that we just covered. But you can still cut through there, should you want to.
My worry is that going through Morafel and Scoatia, even though it's territory that I can guide us through pretty easily, it's quite the detour.
Mm-hmm. So,
and we run the risk of getting there too late.
so Hera, you are aware that there's a route you could take through Elabet. There's only one road from Eretea that'll take you in the province of Elabet up to the north through the city of Ytain. And once you're in Elabet, it is a very, very dangerous place to be at the current point in time. However, should you travel there, you will very quickly, after crossing the border, find yourself in the city of Ifalia. Through there's a couple options, a couple routes that could take you into Ithaca. Now, the quickest of the routes would to just follow the coast north, and you would eventually find the border halfway up through the province, even less than halfway up. Most of its territory is occupied by the Empire now. Should you make your way across the border safely through the mountain ranges, you'll find yourself in Ilbines, the provincial crown city that is currently occupied by the Empire. And that would prove arguably the most dangerous part of this entire option, this entire route. But should you get through there, you'd find yourself just on the border to Ithaca in very quick fashion. Of course, you could also, from Ifalia, head west and follow the roads up through the center of the province where there's no large city. You could perhaps try to avoid any conflict by heading that way. That road would bring you up to central Ithaca, where you'd be a little closer to the city of Vezio.
All right, so I'm gonna relay that information to the rest of the guys, just anyone who is gonna listen. I'm gonna say, okay, so I'm not saying that this will be an easy route. Quite the opposite, actually. If what I know about the nature of the war in Elabet to be true is true, then we may find ourselves in some quite violent conflicts, much the like we've already experienced. Now, while I can't guarantee our safety, I can guarantee our swiftness through this area.
I
And I'm
think
just
time is of essence. I think the shorter route is the best one.
I
And if all
agree.
else
I
fails,
believe the other route is going to take too long to be effective in this plan we have.
if all else fails, Kay and I can just pretend you guys are prisoners.
well, that's one way to get about it. As long as we avoid Odelia, a war zone that it may not be, I'm happy to go whichever route you guys will follow me.
I feel like there's also one more that we might be forgetting.
The water, going by ship.
The sea.
It would, on land, be our safest, but there is always pirates, and we don't actually have a ship.
Can I roll for to know if the Empire's fleet is any big? If they could guard the waters around?
Yes, roll a history check.
11?
So, you're aware that the Empire has a formidable naval presence at the sea. You're not quite familiar with any of the particulars, any of the details, or quite how big, quite how, how much there is there. But you are definitely aware that they are definitely putting efforts towards controlling areas on the sea as well.
Okay.
Any ships could be considered suspicious.
So I'm realizing I never actually responded when I was asked about being there. Valeri would have just nodded thoughtfully. He wouldn't have necessarily said, yes, I'll be there. No, we can't do that. It was more of a let's talk about this later type thing.
Okay. Well, we could always ask Thomas's brother. He seemed to move both me and Larry through the borders without
True.
issue.
That's true. He did manage to get his way here without any, well, worse for wear effects, shall we say.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Especially considering the two injured and very much on the brink of death. What can only be described as very interesting persons, and I just gesture at the two brothers, in tow.
Well, I say we head back and just ask him, and then we'll take the northernmost path either way, and just because it's the shortest, is what I say.
All right, I'm fine to do this.
Well, your lead.
Well, but what about the bard and the elf? Are we? Do we know where they are? Did they?
Well, they did say that they would accept it if we accepted it. Hopefully, they will learn that we have accepted it from the council. If we explain our plans to them, maybe they can relay them whenever they're next here to confirm that we did indeed take the quest. And
We
can
can
meet
also
up a
leave
major
word at the inn.
that would work
Leave
too.
a letter for them.
You guys will have known that before we started off, before you guys departed from, or as you guys departed from the tavern, Tormund made it known that he had business that he was trying to take care of in the city, and that he would just have to catch up with you guys should there be a further task for you guys. And Darcy's wanted to tag along as to not let Tormund go off on his own.
All right.
She did. She's a friendly one.
That
she
she
was rather
is.
lovely.
I don't like her.
Do you like anyone?
My family, our mother, she's very nice.
Others are always quite nice.
It's
Anyway,
nice.
should we get going?
Yes, I agree. Yes, let us make haste. The quicker we can extend our hand of friendship to the poor souls in the north, the better. The Empire is not decaying as it is, and the fact of that worries me.
You have a question. Just my brain's kind of out of it.
Mhm.
Is Izuka the one that
You guys found yourself left for dead in?
no.
Oh.
The one that we are fighting, kind of.
So Kina Laura is a part of the
Mhm.
Empire,
Right.
and the Empire is at war with Ithaca.
Okay. That's what I was afraid of. Ooh.
You and your brother, before our journey started, you went to Ithaca to try and alter the tides of the war for yourselves, and that is where you were left for dead. Province of Ithaca, as you were attacking some of its soldiers.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Well, shall we away then?
Yep, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, I've already got my gear on me, so I'm just going to head towards the eastern gates of the city.
Okay.
I would leave a letter at the tavern and at the temple place for our party that isn't with us. So if they see either one go to either of those places, they will receive word of where we're headed. And where to meet up.
Like to hang back a little bit with Kavian as they're doing that and say, all right, listen, I know we are fighting Izuka in the homeland. I know it's what Father died for. But did he die for our country? Or did he die for our peace?
Well, end Iska, and we end the war in Kinalora. We don't have to participate. We don't need to lose anymore. We're just the king.
I will
And the
say,
rest will on.
because Kinalora is a part of the Empire, that equally means Kinalora is at war with everyone the Empire is at war with, which is
everyone, right?
everyone except for Scotia.
I mean, I'm hinting towards like the war will end around our village and our area. Like we won't be directly attacked any longer.
But what if, we've got this money now for helping, if we help. We can get Mother out of our town. There's no one else left there that we care about, that I care about. We get her out, she's safe. I feel like when we fight, we're always looking for more and more and more enemies.
I know, but
I only care about her safety and your safety.
I know.
And I don't know what we should do. I mean, we took their money. I say we offer protection on the way there, and then we decide once we hear what they have to say. Why are they even fighting? Why are we fighting them?
I don't know, but I do know that they started. I don't want any part in this, but somebody has to take up the fight, and no other macabre will ever get close enough to the king than us. We have a chance that could stop thousands of lives. This war could go on for another 10 years, and thousands will die. We can end it with just one more, and it's over. We don't need to hide, we don't need to flee, nobody needs to flee. Nobody needs to die.
But if we kill him, someone else will just take his place.
Not if Kinalora reacts. The king, we can send his men in, they'll be demotivated, they'll think they're losing, the king is dead. We just need a little help and we'll stop it once and for all. We don't only have to
Okay.
worry about the south.
I'm looking for stables in the east of the city as all this is going on. Like, I'm so far out of earshot that I don't know about it.
You come across the stables that you guys first entered the city in, and you see the horses that you guys left there, but you don't see the cart.
Thank God.
Is
Is there a replacement cart anywhere around, or is this like there's no cart, no anything?
There's no cart. It's just your horses.
We've been cart napped. I can't say I'm sad about it, but yeah, we'll probably need another form of transport then.
What I would like to do is on my way back and just trying to find everyone. What I want to have happen is spot the brothers and notice their deep conversation and just try to be close without being seen to see if I can hear anything.
Go eavesdrop.
We're going eavesdropping.
roll a stealth
I
check.
know where we're headed, and I'm worried about their intentions.
Stealth check, stealth check.
And I would say that I personally am not being quiet about this, even though we
What did you tell me
definitely
to roll?
should be.
Stealth.
Okay.
And then insight, I would imagine.
And I'm being already suspicious of the group. So.
You rolled a nat 1. Oh no.
It was almost an 18!
So, as the two of them are talking, Pipra's trying to be in a way that she can hear the conversation and everything, but she's not being very subtle about it. And you guys notice immediately as she tries to do that, she's not going to hear a word you guys say, as you guys notice her kind of nearby, and then you just kind of stop talking.
Okay, no. I'm so focused on trying to listen that I trip over a basket in the road and fall
That works.
behind them. And they just look. I'm like, there you are.
That works.
Saved it.
Have you seen Hera?
At this point, I'm coming back. I'm on my way back, and I'm kind of going. I'm clearly raging about something. I'm going. We've been cartnapped. Our cart is gone.
Cartnapped?
The horses,
not
they're
good.
at the stable, but
Our vegetables.
our cabbages, they're gone.
Not the cabbage.
Cabbages!
Our cabbage cart.
Yeah, so I'm just clearly raging about the cart, like being very over dramatic about it, as though to say, no, I definitely missed the cart. I'm definitely not compensating for the fact that it has wronged me in the past.
Have we insight checked that?
To see if Hera's telling the truth?
To see if Hera's genuine.
Okay, yeah. You can insight check.
I got a
Genuine
3.
about
I wanna do
missing
one as
the
well.
cart.
I got a 3. So
Everyone is just buying this act then. Everyone is buying this act.
You guys are just there, and you're just fully invested, like you're watching a performance at a theater or something. You're like, wow.
Oh, I should just... Yeah, 1 minute. There's a performance thing. Oh, 15 on performance,
Yeah,
so I'll just continue this on. I can't believe that there's someone in this city with the audacity to take that cart from us.
As soon
The
as
nerve!
as soon as Hera says that, you guys you're kind of like, yeah, what the heck? That's right.
So they took the cart, but not horses.
It's a travesty, I know. A travesty, I say.
But how did they take the cart without something to pull it?
And I am just imagining, and I start miming this because obviously I'm going all in on this. I'm going all in on this. I mime it that someone has taken the 2 bits of the cart under their arms and just ran off like this, like medieval Flintstone style. If we're gonna use that.
Any other carts nearby, because I need to try this.
Well, not that I could see. I'm very sorry.
I need to try this. Next time I see a cart, I'm trying it. Don't try to stop me. I need to see if I can do it.
Well, given the general trend of our party to be tall and large, what do you think the chances are that we could ride those horses? I mean, they'd get exhausted pretty fast.
They're big horses, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would be more suitable for our macabre friends to ride if we just buy a couple more horses. It may make more sense to solely ride horseback instead of the cart in case we run into any trouble.
All right. I just, I'm nodding. I'm going, yep, sounds good.
Alright, so then we'll go to the stable and see if they have any horses for sale.
I want to take Rio.
That means Kavian gets Elion.
Good note keeping. I would.
I was about to say I got those horses' names in there.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I didn't remember either of the names, so yeah.
I just remembered. Imagine taking notes. I'm kidding.
I'd like to.
I figured Elion would be hard to remember, but Rio would be alright.
Yeah. I knew it was the name of a game I had played in the past, but I couldn't remember if it was Terra or Elion. And I was like, oh no, which one is it? And then that's what notes are for.
I'm just gonna try and approach the stable master, like wherever I may find him, and kind of go, "Excuse me."
Yes.
Excuse me. Yes. Thank you very much. We're looking for 2 more horses. We came here just yesterday. Our 2 are in there, but we find ourselves cart-napped as of right now. Surely a terrible situation. However, we're looking for your services. Do you have 2 horses you can spare?
No, I'm afraid not. I don't have 2 horses. It's been a bit since I've had more come in.
Right.
But I do have a single horse if that could prove to be of any value to you.
And I'm just looking back at the gang, just going, "Do we take it?"
Do you know anyone else in town who might be looking to sell a horse?
I cannot think of anyone, no.
Does the horse look sturdy enough for both her and I to ride on?
It's pretty similar to the other horses that you guys already have.
Okay. We could make do with one. That's all we're gonna be able to find here.
I'll
We can
just
look
go
for another in the towns that we cross.
Pipra-wise as ever. Yes. We'll take the horse then, if that's all the same to you.
What's the horse's name?
Yeah, that's a very good question. What's the horse's name?
Are you guys whispering this to the stable master? Are you?
Pipra whispers to me.
To the DM. Tell us the name of the horse.
You gotta
I
ask.
got the notes now.
All right.
So, the name of our horse, we cannot ride on a horse with no name. What has it been bestowed with?
Well, this horse here, he kind of walks over and kind of gets some ropes around and whatnot and kind of leads it out. And you see this horse is a really deep brown, nearly a black horse all around. There's no spots or anything like that. And even the mane and everything is more of a deep dark color. And he looks back over to you guys with his pretty long beard, his most noticeable feature, this stable master. And he says, "This is Oborn, and he's been here for a while. He's not many have taken an interest in him, but should you guys want to take Oborn here, it would be it'd be 100 gold pieces to let him go."
So what? The price is not that we can't pay. But what makes him so special that 100 gold pieces is the price?
Oh,
And this is me trying to haggle it down.
This is my last horse I have. I haven't gotten any more horses in weeks at this point, and once he's gone, I have no choice but to wait for more to come in. I'll have to be living off of what savings I do have.
But you did say he's been hard to sell. No one's really taken an interest in him.
Roll a persuasion check.
Can I
I
have?
will help out with that.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I will help out with this one.
What's your persuasion? Who's helping who here?
I'm
Alright.
+4, but I rolled a 13 there.
I don't have a plus on it.
All right.
I'll take.
Can me and
13
Larry
is a
roll
13 and
for
12.
intimidation?
I
Just standing
rolled a
Yeah,
behind.
I was about to
12.
say, can my like just natural presence
So
cause some intimidation?
so
Maybe a scowl.
with
Why is
Pipra
passive intimidation not
with
a thing?
Pipra and Hera trying to convince him to kind of lower the prices, he looks over at Oborn and kind of looks back at you guys, and it's like, well, yeah, many don't seem to take too much of an interest in Oborn. Due to his looks, people prefer more notable horses. Horses with more notable features. That is. Tell you what. I can settle for a mere 80 gold pieces. Let him go.
Can we roll intimidation? Just standing behind, looking at him.
Yes, you can roll intimidation.
I'll just like keep the conversation going and go at 80.
And
Well,
9.
well,
Larry,
we'll have
roll,
to.
please.
Okay, I'll roll.
Save
Hold
us.
on.
Well,
I'm saving images of what I think the horses look like. My
That's
bad.
funny.
Just keeping the conversation going with the guy and go like, well,
Next
we'll
up, we're
have to
gonna have Happy
consider
just
this.
draw the horses. They join the party.
I can draw the horses.
There we go.
That's the one thing I can draw.
What was her saying?
I'm sorry.
I got a 14, by the way.
I think Hera was just keeping the conversation moving.
Yeah, I'm just keeping the conversation. I'm just trying to stall for time as
Okay.
the others like try and haggle the price down amongst
so
themselves to try and get a tactic. And I'm
The
just
stable
going, yeah,
master
okay.
glances behind Pippa and Hera. First notices Kavian and doesn't really think much of it, and looks over and notices Thaleri kind of looming. And he kind of double takes, and he just kind of takes a step away a little bit and is just listening to you talk. And he's like, well, don't know what to tell you, friends. 80's the least I can do. It's already a big discount.
Well, we'll certainly think about it. Thank you for your time, I suppose. And just kind of turning back to the other guys and go, maybe we can find another stable, a town we pass, or just try and talk with them now.
I would like to very loudly, or like enough that the dude can hear. Get my map real quick. Okay. I would like to say, can you pronounce the name of the? Is it Beltel?
Beltel.
Beltel. I would like to say, well, I heard Beltel just got in a shipment of horses. Perhaps we can just travel there and see if we can find better prices.
He's not going to be fazed by this.
Thinking overpriced. I refuse. DM's always trying to take our gold at every turn. I refuse to overpay for this horse.
I had quite a bit of gold to begin with.
Did you guys add the gold that you were given from the Mystic Council to your inventory?
I did.
Oh, I don't think I did. How much was it?
100 for each.
We already received the payment.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
You guys got
I'm gonna harken
300
back.
each because the first one was
Yes.
100 and the second
Yeah.
one was 200.
Thaleri and
So-
Kavian got 300, and everyone else got 100.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna think back a little bit, and I'm gonna say, are you familiar with a woman named Darcy's?
You're asking this to the Sable Master?
Yes.
The name doesn't ring a bell.
Never mind then. Because I knew she had called the horses we brought with us her horse friends, so I didn't know if she had a connection. Figured I'd at least try that.
Was that question towards the stable master or the horse themselves to try and ask if they're friends with
The
Darcy?
stable
And that's what
masters.
I was thinking there. Hey, are you friends with Darcy's?
He thinks he can talk to animals now. Also, I DM'd you about something.
Oh, my bad. I didn't hear
Oh,
the
you good,
thing.
you good.
Well, I mean, if it's going to be that much, and well, we aren't content to split the bill for, then I'm content to walk. I'll keep pace, hopefully. I'm tall enough.
I'm fine with walking too. We can use
Oh,
the
we
horse
have
to take
2
our
horses.
baggage.
Yeah.
I mean,
We could find a small cart. We could at least make it to the next town to get stocked. This place in general seems too
a,
expensive.
A
if
cart.
we're only going a short
cart.
while, I mean, I know Kaviana and I are heavy. I would imagine that Hera and Pipra aren't nearly as heavy.
Correct.
While we're tall, these horses are, meant to pull and be strong. I think they can handle 2 riders as long as we don't do that for our entire journey. As long as, like, we split it up. Like, Kavian and I obviously can't ride one horse.
Yeah.
But if Hera and Pipra wanted to, it just kind of fizzles out because
Well, I mean, yeah, I can see that working. We could go one leg of the journey on one horse and give the per steed a break after a while and switch to the other if that's your plan.
How far away is Beltel?
From where you guys are in Learston, it is it's a little shorter of a journey than it would be back to Sin.
Okay.
I mean, if they pulled all of us on their back, I mean, not on their back, but, I
Plus,
think,
we're lacking one at the moment anyway. Hopefully, they'll make their own way.
because,
I
like, if
reckon we can make
Hera
it.
or Pipro, one of you wanted to ride with me and the other wanted to ride with Kavian, I think they can handle that for a short journey.
I agree. We can stock up in Beltel to save on expenses because this is bound to be a long trip through dangerous areas and we may need to bribe our way through part of the land.
Woo! Shopping spree. Let's go. Yeah. I agree. I'm totally fine with this.
I also feel bad about leaving that one. Nobody wants to buy him.
Hey, dude shouldn't be asking 100 gold. That's
Whether or not
ridiculous.
it's his last horse or not, it's still a business, and whether or not he has a horse or not, if there's nobody buying, then how can he hope to make a living?
But what if it hurts his feelings?
All right, so you guys are just taking your 2 horses?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, who is riding Rio and who's riding Elion?
I'm on Rio.
I'll ride with Valerian Rio.
Okay.
I'll go with Kavian then.
All right.
Right.
So who is the who's the one in control on each of them?
I would probably be, because Hilari's not the most comfortable riding horses.
I've never ridden a horse before.
Okay. And on the other
Hilari's holding on tight.
Yeah, he's just like squeezing.
on
Hey,
the,
Kavian, rock, paper, scissors for
Sure.
you do rollies
Rock,
for
paper,
it.
shears.
Oh yeah, rollies for it. Okay, D20?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh god.
3
God.
for Kavian, 4 for Hera. You guys both rolled terrible.
Y'all's rolls.
All right.
3 and a 4. Okay, it's me, but like
Hey,
not by
get out
much.
the bad rolls now.
So you get to
Yeah,
choose, Hera. Are you controlling or is Kavian?
Yeah, I'll control it.
Okay. So then I need Hera and Pipra to both roll animal handling.
I do have a +2, so there we go, 15. That's not too bad.
Okay.
Well, that's good. I didn't have a very high.
18.
All right. There you
We're in
go.
decent hands.
So yeah, you guys managed to
All gang, let's go.
on each of the horses, and you guys all get on, and there's no issues. It kind of just comes naturally to both Pippa and Hera to control the horses, and as such, you steer your way out of the main gates of Learston, and ahead of you on both sides, you have the main road that leads up to the city. It either goes off yonder to your left, out into the open expanse of the savannah, and it also goes to the right, out into more open savannah down towards the ocean. Now, the route you arrived on was the one to the right. That one would take you to Sin or even further south.
I think we go to the north since it's the shorter route, don't we?
Yeah, we would head north.
Right?
Because we're trying to get to Beltel, because we know Sin doesn't have horses.
I'm more
we already
familiar with
got
this
there.
bit of the route since it's the route I came on to get to Sin in the first place, I think.
Okay. So you guys start off the left, and at this point, sun is about its highest peak in the sky. It's about middle of the day. You guys carry on, or start your journey rather, away from the city of Learston, and as you travel away, you see the various different merchants and travelers and traders going in and out of the city of Learston, and the roads are not sparsely packed by any means. There's a good amount of people going back and forth at this time of day of all various professions in which they are doing so. You guys are steadily distancing yourself from the city of Learston. You can, at this point, look behind you and you just see the grand mountainscape behind it and the big citadel and the layered city with the walls just kind of fading away slowly as you guys make your way onward.
Low-key imagining Minas Tirith when I think of Learston.
So, are you guys? What is the speed you are trying to travel at on these horses? Is this more of a walking pace, or is it?
I don't
Okay.
know, like a fast walk, but not a sprint.
A
not
jog.
like-
Trot.
Yeah,
Definitely
trot.
not a trot, because that's gonna be real bumpy for all of us.
True.
We'll probably just be doing a working trot, or not a working trot, a working walk, if you will.
That's about right.
Okay. Right.
I
So
have
we're
a
definitely
question.
trying to get somewhere, but not trotting.
Cody, do you know the different speeds of a horse have names?
No.
First gear.
Okay, anytime horses come up, Zan, please inform Cody about horse stuff. So,
Okay, yeah. So a walk is a 4-beat gait, so it
I don't
means
know what
that
that means.
at all times there's 3 hooves on the ground,
Okay.
so it's pretty smooth. A trot is a 2-beat gait that moves diagonally, so it means there's a natural bounce
Mhm.
between the side that is like leading and the side that isn't. So it's a very up and down,
Mhm.
but it still covers more ground. And then a canter is a 3-beat gait, but it's a lot more smooth than a trot usually. But it's it would be hard for us to accomplish with our current loadout
Mhm.
because of just the way that we're riding. I feel like if the two bigger characters were in the front, it would be one thing. But if anything gets kind of jostled, Flary will grab onto Pipra and probably take them both off of this horse.
Mhm.
And we don't want that. So,
All right.
like, I think having a faster walk versus a slow trot is going to be our best bet.
All right.
Okay. Fast walk then.
If we were riding on our own, it'd be one thing, but
Onwards, horse with a complicated name, and just fast walk.
You
up the
forgot
road.
Elliot already.
I am not good at this.
you had a white mane, right?
What's that?
I know she has a brown body, but didn't she have like a white mane?
Yes, it's brown with more of like a blonde.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
not get to write that down because that
I
was
just remembered that.
way to go because I didn't have it for the description. I didn't know.
All right. Is there anything you guys like to talk about while you're riding?
As we're kind of going, I would like to ask Valeri his thoughts on the wars. And just kind of,
Well, go ahead, ask.
okay. Let me think about my wording here. Is my brain slow? Valeri.
Mm.
What outcome would you like to see from these wars that are raging?
I just want my family to be safe. That's all I care about.
So you just want the combat to stop around Kino Laura.
I don't even really care about that. I just want my mom and my brother to be safe.
I see.
That's all I care about.
You know, if we manage to succeed in our mission, help turn the tides, perhaps we can get the fighting everywhere. Stop. And then, no matter where you travel, no matter where you go, they will always be pretty safe.
I'm gonna chat to Kavian as well. I'm just gonna go, hey, Kavian,
What?
you talked about your family. You got any stories?
No.
Well, well, that's fair. I'm sure they're lovely people.
They are.
As dangerous as this route is, I'm glad we aren't going the other routes. For one, I didn't want to have to see Morfell again for a while, but I'm not too keen on seeing my family again for a bit. They did not support my decision to leave Scotia.
My family, they're ash now. I'm not
Oh.
sure I would ever want to return to Odelia after all that's happened there. And I'm just like going to Kavian. That's why I asked. Not to pry or anything. It's just nice to hear.
Well, there really isn't much to say. We haven't experienced anything special that others haven't. We're all the same.
But we all come from different walks of life. I would say that your walk of life has been more interesting than mine in some ways.
I wouldn't call it interesting or exciting. It's been a journey, that's for sure, but not a good one.
You've seen a lot.
Kavian, I'll ask you the same question I asked your brother. What outcome do you wish to see from this war?
Well, for it to end, I suppose. But I know it won't do it by itself. And I think the only way to end it is by partaking in it.
I agree. My home has stayed neutral through pretty much all wars. I always wondered if we had assisted, how many lives we could have saved.
Sometimes I wonder if all the choices that we make up to this point are the right ones, but all we can do is try.
That's what we're here to do.
And after all this, after the war is over and we can all get back to whatever lives we want, what then?
I'll probably go back to teaching.
Hi, that's honorable.
Scoatia sends out many scholars to different lands to help teach and rebuild after wars. The convoys were ordered to stay with the recent conflicts. I enjoy traveling and seeing the different lands. I've been to Melilari and Melivari many times.
Well, I've done some traveling, but I wish it was under different circumstance.
I've never seen anything but the snow my entire life. So
Weird.
when I woke up this last morning rather, grass was a nice sight, I would say. I might look into seeing some more.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Ah,
I can't
that
say
over
I've
there is
ever
called a
seen the snow.
tumbleweed. They just love to roll in the wind.
Can't say I've ever seen the snow before, except on mountain peaks, maybe.
Same
You
goes for
might like
me,
it.
living in the southern regions.
I miss it.
Where I used to call home, you used to be able to feel the sand through your fingers. Can't say I miss it, but it's certainly odd.
Well, the sand we have is usually frozen, and it's basically
about
like
to say.
rocks.
I don't know much about sand at all.
Well, there's good sand and there's bad sand.
Sand has intentions.
Sand can
Um,
be chaotic evil if sand wants to be.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'd like to stay away from the evil sand.
Well,
Then
I
stay
don't
away
like
from
that.
Odelia.
If the sky ever starts
don't like
turning
that.
very brown, you should look for cover. That's the bad sand.
Oh yeah, no lies there.
Don't like that.
I remember when the sandstorms rolled in, my father used to put his cloak around my arms, around my shoulders, and he used to bundle me up into the house where the sand wasn't everywhere. And he'd tell stories by the firelight. He'd tell stories about his adventures when he was only a little older than me. And I'm just sort of going on and on about this. And my mother, she would always be there. She'd listen as much as I would. Always as enthralled and always as content. And I'm kind of still just going on 1,000-mile stare and just regaling all of this.
Can I, out of character, just bring up the irony of, like, our different character backgrounds, and yours is, like, from a desert, but I live in a desert, IRL, kinda, and we deal with, like, dust storms and other things, but your area is probably more like where my character comes from. A little bit greener.
And then I'm from freaking Tennessee, where I've not seen snow in how long? Tato's the only slightly accurate
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
muted?
just
Whoops. As you guys are writing and you are you're talking back and forth about your past and your families and stuff like that. At this point, you turn around, you can't really see City anymore. Very faintly, if you really strain your eyes off in the distance, and there's not really anyone or anything around you guys at this point. You've made clear of most of the wandering merchants and travelers and such along the roadways, and at this point it's fairly peaceful and quiet. All around you is just a sprawling savanna, the occasional tree here and there, and what have you, the occasional hills or rocks or whatever it might be throughout, but you don't really see anyone else around you. And as you carry on a little further, you are coming up upon an area on the road that has a couple more trees than previous instances of the road. It's getting a little more dense, and not that there's a little hill off in the distance, a mini cliffside off in the distance on to the side of that hill, only maybe the height of yourselves off of the ground. Nothing crazy. A couple little creatures, you can't really tell what they are, kind of scurry on the corners and stuff. And there's a big boulder on the side of the road as well, as you kind of approach this area that stands out more than some of the others, and don't really think anything of it. You're just kind of walking by. There's no one nearby. However, I need all of you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
okay.
Potato will be a minute. So
Yeah, it was
No, no.
Oh god. Alright, that would be a
nat 20?
Oh yeah, nat 20 from Pepper.
I was like, why is it a B? I was like, oh, wait.
That one.
You rolled a B. Well
It's a 4 with bonuses, but it's a nat 1.
Oh no.
Uh,
Mine's a 14.
Okay. Well,
Is that the
since
first
since it's a saving throw, yours will be a because you did a check, right? Not a saving throw on that one.
They're the same.
Okay.
It's +3 either way.
So
Wait. I have advantage on dex against effects that I can see.
you cannot see this.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no. I get the sneaking suspicion the next roll we're gonna make is initiative, and I hate that.
What's potatoes plus? Anyone know?
I have no idea.
I don't think it's a plus. Hang on, I can probably check. Cavia.
I'm literally looking at different horses to
Yes.
Horse research, let's go.
Yeah, that looks accurate, Zan.
Then I don't know how dark of a brown Rio
Uh,
is. I can't tell if he's trying to say a palomino or like a dark palomino.
uh,
That word
I
is alien
I
to me,
think
so
I
yeah.
think
So,
Cody's
like-
Alien to
thinking
me as well.
classic brown
Because like
Minecraft horse. Palominos are
brown horse
fairly
is
like
correct.
blonde. They're
Well,
like it's like Cody's
ironically-
hair.
actually they can go from that color to like as dark as need be. It's just a dilution of brown, so like any
Okay.
level of dilution. So like this
I
one.
guess the only ones I've seen much of are like pretty blonde.
Yeah.
You mean
I
to
used
say
to ride a Palomino. His name was Prince.
Oh,
I've ridden quite a
I
few.
see.
So, well, that one
I've seen horses.
is technically a chestnut.
I think in Cody's brain though that would be brown, so that you can go with that, and I think that's fine.
And then whereas
Is
this
Potato back yet?
I don't think
Hey,
so.
Tato.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I like how we're just looking at horses, or at least me and Zan are.
Yeah.
I'm just
It's
trying
like
to
the
go.
DM's horses.
Oh, yes, this is horses. Mm.
Because I'm thinking like either that or
Make a dexterity saving throw.
oh yeah,
Tato?
it goes back.
Where's 630? Oh, there we go. 13?
Okay. So
Is a regular dex check, or is that the saving throw?
Oh, saving throw.
Oh yeah,
Even better.
saving throw. Let me
I didn't know if you had a
15.
different.
Oh no.
That's much better.
okay.
I mean, they're the same bonuses.
Yeah, as long as
Yeah.
y'all had the
So-
same.
All right, ignore that
So-
second one then because it's the same bonus.
As you guys are riding on your horses through this area with a couple more trees and a big boulder, out of nowhere, you just kind of hear a shing, and Kavian, you see Hera go flying off the horse. And when you look over, you notice that right in her right arm, there is a dagger sticking out of her right arm.
Yeah.
And before you can even kind of process what just happened out of nowhere, you hear it again. Shing! And you hear a thud behind you. You look behind, and Flaherty has fallen off of the horse from behind, and Flaherty's got a dagger in his side, his right side, sticking out. And so
With my nat 20, can I catch a dagger? It's a nat 20.
They do need to be special.
Yeah, I can't be normal.
Catch a dagger. I don't know about catching a dagger, but I will say that you are perceptive enough. You hear it coming, and you have the very quick reflex to kind of.
Can I whack it with my staff just out of the air?
Yeah, you can take your staff. You kind of almost because it's on your back, and you don't have a lot of time. You kind of turn it away. You kind of like grab it and kind of angle it on your back. You kind of turn and deflect it as it's coming, and you kind of knock it to the ground. And yeah, we'll go with that. That seems to work. Okay, and so Hera and Thaleri, I need both of you guys to take 6 points of piercing damage.
Ooh. Okay.
And I need everyone to roll initiative.
There we go. That would be a 15 from me.
12.
10.
8.
All right. Okay.
All right. So I will say that if you guys are using the same colors that you used last time,
Yeah.
we're going to have Hera there. And you should see this on the stream, but correct me if
Oh,
you
hi, I
don't.
see it now.
What color did you use, Pipra, last time?
Light green.
Yeah, up ahead a little bit. And then we use like a yellow for Kavian, correct?
Yep.
All right. Kavian, you are on the horse with Hera, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be over here. And then Flary's color was orange.
Just
Yep.
witness me absolutely eat it there.
Okay, you guys are right about there. And as you guys kind of fly off of the horses, they get spooked a little bit, and they're definitely not. They're startled, and they're definitely not having a great time. While Pipra and Avian are still on the horses. I don't know what you guys would like to do there. But before we get into the combat here, you let me know what you'd like to do.
Wow.
I will try to calm the horse and then like dismount and kind of pat the horse to go up the road more.
Okay. Roll an animal handling check.
5.
Okay, so you go to dismount it, and you kind of have a little bit of struggle as you're dismounting because you can't really calm the horse down or anything. And once you get down, you're trying to see if you can calm it down, but there's just nothing you can do, and the horse eventually just kind of runs off up the road, in a kind of frightened state. And as that happens, the other one it kicks, kind of jostles enough that Kavian is going to end up falling off of that horse, and it follows Rio up the road, and so both of them just kind of scurry off. And once that
As
happens,
long as the horses don't get hurt, I'm okay.
Yeah. Horses are safe, that's all
If
I
you
care.
dare touch the horses, I will go over there and smack you.
once that happens, you guys kind of look at the two that were attacked and were hit with the daggers, and it kind of hits you really quick that they came from around the rock. And so you look over towards the rock, and you see one figure
Bad guy colors.
there. You see one figure the other side of the rock, and those are the only two that you see right now. But both of them are dressed similarly in kind of rugged gear. There's no real specific colors or seeming affiliation or anything like that. Just kind of typical of what you might find on some kind of troublemaker or bandit or thief or anything like that. Excuse me. And so, no real distinguishing features. Both of them appear to be of Ezra origin. They're both fairly tall for Ezra humans. Fairly tall men, and one of them's got a medium length beard. The one that's more north of the rock. That's really all you can make out of it. However, they do have in each of their hands a rapier, and they are ready and not waiting to talk it out first. So, have you all made an initiative roll?
Made my
Yes.
initiative roll. Mine is a 15.
Okay. It's down.
Time to do death. It's occurring to me that I've never actually made an attack this campaign yet. The only thing I did last battle,
Apparently.
like, yeah, genuinely, the only thing I did last battle was heal Cavian. That's it.
Up close and personal with the
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Oh, if I do combat, I'm gonna end up wild magicking people.
Oh,
Oh, I just realized that. Okay,
Okay, so as you guys are taking in these kind of figures and you're kind of regaining your bearings and whatnot, let me go ahead and some approved music real quick.
it's combat music time.
Okay. So as you guys are kind of getting your bearings and everything, and you're focused on these two figures appearing from behind the rocks, you're gonna hear another sh, and this is going to be the one that's going to hear it above anyone else is going to be Pipra. And let me just see here for 2 seconds. It is not going to hit, it's going to miss. And so you hear this shink, and it flies by you again, and it was another dagger that was thrown in your direction, but this time it wasn't from the rock, and it wasn't from either of the two that you guys were looking at, and it seems like it came from behind, as a matter of fact. And as you kind of look over there, you see from this tree up top, there is another figure has made itself known, and this one looks different. This one is dressed similarly to the other ones, but almost with an aura of kind of importance, maybe. Like maybe this is whoever might be in charge or the one who makes the decisions. And you can see he's got a rapier of his own that kind of matches those of the other two. He's got a bunch of daggers around his belt, with one of them missing as he had just thrown that one. And other than that, his gear's fairly normal, fairly standard. This person does appear to be of elven origin. You're not quite sure specifically where they might be from, but as a result, they are taller than the other two, and they kind of are comparable in height to Hera. And
why is no one in this campaign short? Everyone is described as taller than average.
Everyone is massive.
Except for
Darcy's, yeah. Darcy's is just...
And so...
she is small babe.
And so this person is definitely hard to miss. And they, again, have their rapier readied, and they are looking to approach as the others do as well. Hera, what would you like to do?
All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn to Cavian because I saw them come off their horse, and I'm going to go, "Are you hurt? Are you okay?"
Cavian?
I
Yeah.
thought it was Flair. I'm fine, it's nothing. Check up on one brother.
Flary, are you good? And I'm just shouting.
Yeah, it only hurt a little.
Okay, ready your weapons. I don't think they're going to be talking. And I get my staff out, and I'm going to scamper along the path as far as my natural movement will take me in the southwest direction.
Okay.
Still with taking damage.
I
You're
am.
going to make it down to here? That's where you're trying to go?
I'm blue.
Oh, you're blue. That's right.
Yep.
Oh, bad.
I'm the green.
Can't erase that. All right, whatever. That's staying there. Okay. So you are going in that direction, though, right?
Yeah, I'm going in that direction. That was perfect, yeah.
End up right about there.
And I'm going to, from there I can see the important-looking guy. Eyeing the guy up. Staff is ready, and I am going to cast Magic Missile for the first attack of my campaign.
Okay.
That is an automatic hit on that. So let me just cast this, and
Let me know what the damage is.
so that would be the first one. There's 3 components to it. The first missile hits for 4.
Okay.
Second missile hits for 2, and third missile hits for 3.
And these are all 3 at the important guy.
All 3 at the important guy.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I also need to roll a d20
you
for the
do need
wild
to roll
magic,
a
don't I?
d20.
Okay. Wild magic time. It's 16.
Okay. So you're fine this time. So as you shoot these kind of magic missiles, how do you kind of visualize the missiles being shot? Are they being shot from your staff, or do you picture it differently?
So, like, you can kind of see the energy surrounding me. I
Okay.
use my staff, and my hand is kind of creating it
Okay.
at the tip of the staff, and I
Okay.
just, like, almost
Okay.
like a bat with my staff.
All
and
right.
the
So you
missiles
see
shoot off like
3
that.
missiles just, and they kind of laser on over to him. They kind of take a bit of a curly route, a bit of a windy zigzag kind of through the air, and they eventually end up hitting him. One of them strikes him in the chest, and another one hits him in the side, and then another one kind of hits him up in his shoulder, and he kind of, stumbles a little at each hit and kind of straightens himself back up and kind of shakes it off and focuses his attention on the closest of the group, which is Flaherty on the ground, and of course Pepper on the, well, not on the horse anymore, but standing right next to Flaherty.
Okay.
So, Flaherty, what would you like to do?
I'd like to get up.
Okay. You
And
can
then
get up.
And then I'd like to go to the one near the tree.
Okay. Because you got up, your movement will be halved. So
I should still have movement.
yeah,
to get there.
you'll have
I should have 5, 10, 15 to close
you'll
the
have like
gap.
17-ish and a half. So you'll be right about here. You'll be standing pretty toe to toe, about 5 feet away.
Squares are 5 feet, right?
Yep.
So from the square I'm on, 5, 10, 15. I should be able to close that gap.
Because you got up, I'm gonna limit your movement a decent bit. So you'll get to within about 5 feet, and it'll be
Okay.
in range of
Yeah.
taking a strike.
Well, I'd like to rage, first of all, because
Okay.
I just got knocked off this horse,
Mm-hmm.
and that's rude.
Mm-hmm.
It's rage time.
Is this the first rage of the campaign?
This
Yeah,
is the
this is the
first
first
rage.
rage.
He's been holding it in.
Hulk smash, let's go!
Um,
I just picture Flurry with the mug when you said that.
and then sorry, I'm looking for my weapon. 17.
Okay. 17 will hit.
Awesome. That's 13 slashing damage,
Okay.
I think. Let me just make sure that also calculated the rage in there as well.
I've got the Halo OST just going through my headphones right now. It's great.
1d12 plus 3. It did not. So 15.
Okay.
Where do I enter that I'm raging? Sorry. It should automatically do that, but it's plus 2 melee damage with strength weapons, and I did use a strength weapon. So I would like to do that, and that is my turn.
Okay. So as you swing your great axe, and he's just not ready for you to be so tall and big, and also have such a big weapon, and it kind of caught him off guard, and he's going to take this blow and kind of stumble back a little more, and almost kind of bend over a little bit, have to kind of regain his balance after taking that hit. You can see you've drawn a little bit of blood on him, and he's definitely upset after that hit right there. But he's gonna kind of raise his rapier again and ready himself. So, Pipra, what would you like to do?
I would like to firebolt at the one straight across from me at the rock.
Seconds. Okay, so you're firebolting at the north or south one?
At the rock, the north.
Okay, so the one up there, and you're gonna cast firebolt on him?
Yes.
And that is a roll to hit, I take it?
Yes. 18.
18 will hit.
Four fire damage.
Okay. Sweet. So as you shoot this fireball over at this other one, he was totally not ready for a or firebolt rather, totally not ready for a firebolt to be shot in his direction, as he figured you guys would probably focus on the big one, and so he didn't really ready himself, and he just takes it right in the chest and kind of few feet back, stumbles, manages to stay on his feet, and he looks pretty winded after that one, having taken it right in the chest, and he tries his best to kind of regain his balance and focus a little bit, but you can see he's a little bothered by that for sure. Are you going to make any movement, or is that your turn?
Yes, I will walk towards him.
Okay. How close would you like to get?
Just out of his range.
Okay. Get right about there. All right. Kavian.
All right. I would like to go for the guy at the south of the rock, and I want to cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay.
And then I want to shoot him with my longbow.
And to remind everyone about Hunter's Mark, if you want to give a quick overview on that. I got to be better at having you guys do that when you use stuff.
So I basically can choose one creature, and every time I hit him with a weapon of any sort, I do an extra 1d6 damage.
All right, there you go.
That's useful.
So 19 will hit.
Yep. So damage would be... See, that's 11 plus... Oof. 12 damage.
All right. So you take your longbow and you draw the arrow, and pretty quickly, you don't need to take the time to focus or anything, you let it go, and it flies towards this person holding this rapier, and they don't have time to react as the arrow strikes them in the upper left kind of part of their chest. Not quite in the shoulder, little lower, and it kind of, you can see as it impacts them, it really gets to them. They kind of fall to one knee, and you can tell that the arrow went pretty deep into their chest, and they're kind of, leaning over almost like in a lot of pain. They kind of drop their rapier and to the ground, and they kind of grab up towards the arrow, and they're kind of recovering from that hit as it did a lot of damage to them. Is there any movement you'd like to make?
I would like to move a little bit further left, I think, to get away from him.
Okay. Is there a specific distance?
I'll go directly left until I'm like right above Theo.
Okay,
So I'll
you
go-
will be right there. You can make it there. Out into the open. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So after that, the one next to Pipra is going to step forward into range of Pipra with their rapier at the ready, and Pipra does a 14 hit.
It does, but I will use my reaction to cast shield.
Okay. Let me.
Actually, I forgot it. I have light ward already.
So the wards are going to deflect
Oh
magic.
yeah, that's a good spell. Yeah. So shield.
If you want to read that out for everyone.
So shield. When you take it when hit by an attacker target. An invisible barrier of magical force appears to protect you until the start of your next turn. You have a +5 bonus to AC. So.
And that's the one that recharges on a rest, right?
No. Shield just I use spell slots for it, so.
I might be thinking of the wrong one.
So technically on a long rest I do get it back, but it's not on its own thing, it's just a spell slot to use it.
Yeah, I was thinking of the wrong one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so it is not going to hit. As a matter of fact, as he goes to swing in a blow that would otherwise definitely deal some damage to you with the rapier, you are able to get this shield up in time, and as the rapier kind of comes in to range within you, it suddenly just, you hear a kind of clanging sound, and it kind of gets shot back as this magical force kind of pushes it away from you and kind of acts as though they just kind of swung on a wall and they were just kind of sent back in it, and it was kind of a useless swing. And that is going to end that person's turn. They have this confused look, and they kind of ready it back in their hands to, go forward from there.
I've just seen this through the little bit of the rock, and I'm just gonna shout to Pepper, "Good job!" Encouragement.
Hey.
Bard's not here. I'm being encouraging.
Okay, and so the other one is going to
Hair's inspiration.
the other one is going to, let's see. All right, the one on the south of the rock is going to pull out a longbow of their own off of their back, and they are going to take aim over at Hera.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's good.
You say that's good?
Okay. I'm speaking near you when I'm using wild magic then.
All right. Hera does a 10 hit.
A 10 does not hit.
All right, so they pull out this bow and they go to shoot at Hera, and because they're they're definitely affected by that arrow that they just took to the chest a little bit previously. It kind of throws them off, and when they go to shoot it, it kind of it comes within range, but it doesn't quite. It kind of whiffs off to the side, and Hera, you can kind of see this arrow just kind of whiz by you a little bit, and you kind of look back, and they kind of have this look of this, like, well, all right then. After missing that shot, they're kind of have this like hopeless look about them, and on that they are going to move to the other side of the rock after they shoot. So they're going to get to about here. And that is going to be out of range of Cavian, or out of sight, but Hera, you'll still be able to just maybe see them.
So I can see them. That's important.
Okay, and that is going to end his turn, and this is going to go back to the main guy up here, who, after getting hit by Philairi, is going to be pretty upset at that. He's going to take his rapier, and he's going to approach Philairi, and he's going to use multi-attack to get 2 strikes in, and the first one is going to be a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. And on that first one, I'll just do the damage real quick. It is going to be, it's going to be 2 damage slashing.
Is that already half?
What's that you said?
Is that already half?
That is not already halved. So
okay, so 1 damage.
All right, and
It
then
tickled.
All right, and then
That's
the
funny.
Other one is going to be a 19 to hit.
That hits.
All right, so he's gonna slash that first one, and it kind of just grazes you a little bit, maybe up on like your shoulder, and it's just like a little scratch, nothing much. But then he comes back with the rapier, and this time he's aiming for kind of like your side, and it's gonna be it is gonna be 6 halved, so 3 of slashing damage on that one. And after he does that, he is going to move himself up towards this other tree. Let me make sure I got this right. He'll get up to about here or so, just to kind of get himself away from that tree, a little further away from Cavian and Hera. And that is going to end his turn, which puts it back in Hera's hands.
Awesome. So, how many of these enemies can I actually see? Can I see the enemy that Pipra's fighting right now?
You can, from where you're standing right now, you can just barely not see it. You can see Hera, or Pipra, but you can't see the enemy.
Okay, but I can see the other one.
You can see the one below the rock, and you can see the main one.
Cool. This is going to be another casting of Magic Missile.
Okay.
And just, I know I cast it last round, but we're doing descriptions now. I create 3 magical darts, and they hit no matter what, unless someone casts shield.
Okay.
But they each do a bit of damage, and I can cast them at whatever targets I can see.
Mm-hmm.
So, knowing that, you see the energy around me change. You see the energy build up. On one of my hands, I'm creating these 3 orbs, and at the tip of my staff, again, I'm just collecting them there.
Mm-hmm.
And I go 1, and 2, and 3, and as the energy's building,
Mm-hmm.
I eye up the guy at the very far side of the field, the one that the big bad, and the one that just tried to hit me with their bow, and I strike the ground like that. 2 of the darts are gonna towards the guy that tried to attack me. And the last one is gonna fly across the field and attack the big bad.
Roll damage on all 3 of those.
Rolling damage. Let's go. So the first one, and this is going to be for the big bad, is 5. And for the 2 that are going towards the guy that just tried to attack me, that's going to be a 4 and a 5. That was 1 damage off a perfect roll.
How would you like to do
My
this?
word.
For the little guy.
For the little guy, they are going to just see the arrow go past me, and they just about have time to regret their decision before my staff hits the ground. And these 2 bolts, they just...
And at this point, they're booking it. They're trying to get around the rock, but it's just not good enough. And I take
one of them through the leg.
Ooh,
they can't run anymore. And the other one, it does it straight in the...
Right. All right. And they're going to fall to the ground, and they are not going to be moving any longer at this point. Let me actually mark where they're dead.
Of course, yeah.
So that one is out of commission. Are you going to make any movement?
I am. I am going to move in the direction of the big bad as far as I can.
Okay.
And I
Get
also
up to
need to
about
roll
there.
my wild magic, don't I?
You do.
All right, wild magic time. That's a 17.
All right. You are safe. Had 2 good rolls. That's kind of scaring me for the future. You
Yeah.
got a bad one.
I know. I'm going to get a natural one and just cast Thunderbolt at everyone. That's what's going to happen.
All right. So that puts it in the hands of Valeri.
I know my music is playing, but I can't hear it, and it's throwing me off a little bit. Because I can hear you guys, and it's through the same headphones.
Oh, no.
So, I don't know. I am going to close the gap between the guy that I've already hit once,
Okay.
and I should very easily be able to do that.
Oh, yeah. Are you going to get right up on him?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm gonna bonk him.
Bonk.
Bonk.
All right.
No, I'm not. That's a 10.
That is not going to hit. So was that
Oh,
with
no.
your great axe you were trying to bonk?
Yep.
All right. So you're going to kind of swing with the great axe. This time, he's facing you. He was ready. He knows what to expect. He's going to kind of quickly sidestep out of the way, and your swing kind of goes wide at that point. And yep, he's just gonna be ready. He's holding his rapier. He's sidestepped that move, and he's got a very close eye on you. He knows you are one of the biggest threats, and so he is trying to be as ready as he can. All right, and I take it that's going to be your move, your turn.
Yep.
All right, on to Pipra.
I would like to be flashy and use Thunder Wave.
Ooh.
With Thunder Wave, a wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature within a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you. So
they rolled an 11 to save.
Does not save. It's a 14.
Okay.
So
roll damage. 2d8 and they get pushed.
yeah.
Right.
So 7 thunder damage.
How would you like to do this?
Ooh.
I'll just look at him
Mhm.
and I'm gonna get my staff and just kind of reach it up, and it starts sparking lightning, and just throw it down, and he goes flying.
All right, he just goes flying. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll say he makes it. He's gonna make it pretty far. He's gonna end up like all the way over here. He just kind of ragdolls down to the ground after that one. He just had no strength left in him to resist that. And all right, as you do that, that's gonna mark. I may actually make an X instead right there. That one dead right there. And as that one kind of tumbles down to the ground, you're gonna hear some distant shouting, and it's gonna sound from the way you came. And the first person to notice this is gonna be Kavian, who's kind of in the back. You're gonna see three more people looking very similar to the ones that you just dispatched. These rugged clothing, no real colors or affiliation by any sense. It just appears to be some kind of maybe bandit group or thieves or some kind of trouble, but no real organized trouble, I suppose. And they're going to be down there kind of making their way onto the scene, kind of seeing this happen from a distance. This is going to put it into Kavian's turn.
Okay. I'll take the guy the furthest to the left, and I'll move my hunter's mark from the dead guy over to him.
Okay.
And I'll take another shot with my longbow.
All right.
Wait, no, never mind. That was the wrong one. That one. Not one.
That one. Oh no.
Oh.
All right. Well, let's see here.
So that's a solid miss.
That is a solid miss. I'm trying to think of if I want to do anything too evil here with that nat one. So you take out your bow and you kind of turn your attention to the 3. And I'll say at first you weren't expecting there to be 3, maybe only 1, like another 1 or maybe 2, but it seems like there's a lot of them, and it kind of catches you off guard for just a moment as you let the arrow go, and it completely whiffs all 3 of them and ends up hitting a tree just out of the map site right there, and it just kind of sticks in to the side of the tree. And they're going to the person you're aiming for kind of looks over at the arrow, kind of looks back at you with this kind of evil grin, I suppose, and is feeling a little more confident now. I gotta.
I just say, well, that's a warning shot. You better get back. And,
are you gonna make any movement?
Yeah, I'm gonna run further back.
Are you gonna do your max distance? Where are you thinking?
Yeah, 35 feet on a diagonal, perfect diagonal.
Towards the Larry and the other guy?
Yeah.
Okay. You'll get up here. You'll get pretty close. Macabre do have an increased speed, for those wondering. Okay, so you're up there at that point, and that is gonna put the turn in the hands of these guys. So this one to the right is going to use up his max movement. Gonna get up to about here. The one on the left is going to move to about here. The one in the middle is going to move up to about here. Not use this full move. And after they move, the one on the left here, over to the left, is going to pull out their bow, and they're going to take aim at Hera.
Okay.
And this is going to be a 18 to hit.
That hits.
All right, so they're going to take out their bow, and it is going to be find the right one here. It is going to be a 6 points of piercing damage.
Oh, I am rough, but I'm still up.
How much HP are you at?
I'm at 2 HP.
2 HP. All right, so they take out this bow, they take it, and they fire an arrow out at Hera. This is, of course, the one that feels a little more confident after Kavian's botched shot. And so with that confidence, they take it and they let an arrow go, and it's going to strike Hera in their thigh, in their left thigh. It's going to hit pretty good, going to kind of stumble you back. You're going to kind of put your weight onto your other leg and kind of feel a little shook from that one. Definitely going to feel it a little bit. After that happens, the one on the right is sees Pipra all the way up there, and this one, as they approached, had seen what Pipra did with dispatching one of them, and so they're pretty mad.
Sparks are still kind of going around.
They're pretty mad. They're going to pull out their longbow, and they're going to try to shoot Pipra from afar, and that is going to be an 18 to hit. So I assume that's going to hit. Okay.
I'll just eat this one.
All right. It is going to be a... Oh, it's a good thing you ate that one. It is going to be a 2 points of slashing... Or, no, not slashing, piercing damage. 2 points of piercing damage. That's the one. All right. And on that... 2 seconds. Okay, the one in the middle is the only one who hasn't attacked, and he's actually going to pull out a dagger out of kind of his. He's got a little bit of a kind of fancy belt, couple daggers kind of stashed behind, kind of like the main dude does, but this guy doesn't look nearly as capable as the main guy. He's going to pull out a dagger. He's going to take this dagger, and he's going to try to hit Hera as well.
Oh no.
And so that is going to be a 13 to hit.
It hits.
All right, so
Oh.
I'm going down. I'm going down.
it is gonna do. Oh, that was a botched one. It is going to do 5 damage.
I'm down.
So that's gonna put Hera down
I'm down.
right there. And that is going to end their turns, which puts it back to the main guy up top who, if you recall, just sidestepped out of the way of an attack from Philairi. They kind of swung with their axe and they kind of sidestepped. They had their rapier ready. They're going to try to strike Philairi again using multi-attack with the rapier. And it is going to be, the first one is probably not going to hit. That's a 5.
No.
All right, so the first one is a whiff. You're kind of ready for it this time, and you kind of do what he did to you. You kind of sidestep it a little, and you're ready. You're kind of almost moving in a circular motion at this point, kind of trading blows and stuff. And on the second one, it is going to be a 17 to hit.
I hit.
It hits. All right, and the damage on that one is going to be, before being halved, it is going to be 6 points of slashing damage, so then 3 after it's halved. Which puts you at how much HP?
12.
12, all right. And that is going to be attack. After that, he is going to try to get himself closer to that tree and kind of move away from you. Doesn't have a death wish. He's going to make it right over here. He's under the canopy of that tree, kind of over in that area. And this is going to shield him from Pipra's visibility at this point, that main one. But both Philairi and Kavian, you can still see him. He's just
I
under
was about to say, he's not hiding from the wolf here.
and that is going to end his turn, which puts it back in... Well, it would put it back into Hera's turn, but I need you to make
a saving throw, don't I?
a saving throw. There you go. That's the one.
Why are you trying to kill us?
Oh no. That's a 4. That's one failure.
All right.
The entire campaign is over because of Ben.
All right. So that's going to be one. All right. And then it's going to go on to Philairi.
Oh.
Looking for some
Following.
revenge. Following him? All right. Right back up on him?
Uh-huh.
All right. Right back up on him. At this point, well, you could position yourself to where Kavian can still see him. Do you want to do that?
Yep.
Okay. So you'll be up here instead. That way you're not in the way. All right. What do you like to do?
18. I'm hitting him with my great axe.
That, you said it was 18 to hit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
And then 14 plus 2, 16 damage.
16 damage. Wow. Not bad at all. All right. So you go to swing, and this time you were ready for the sidestep, and you kind of predicted in a way. So you go to swing, and then you adjust it mid-swing right to where he goes to sidestep. And he's going to take this right in the side, and it's going to kind of push him back a little bit. He's not going to quite fall down. He's going to do like a half stumble, half fall down thing where his hands kind of meet the ground a little bit, and he kind of is trying to keep his balance up. He doesn't fall, but he ends up getting back to his feet. He's kind of hunched over a little bit. That one really took the wind out of him and really hit him pretty hard right there. So he's gonna, at this point, he's gonna have been moved just a little bit back, enough to move the marker there, and still in range or still in sight of Kavian. He's gonna try to ready his rapier again and be ready. But I take it that'll be your turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right, on to Pipra.
Well, I am gonna say, finish him off, brother.
Okay. On to Pipra.
Can I get to Hera? It's really close.
You can get within. You can get within 7 or 8 feet.
I'm gonna die.
I'm close, you know, and I have extra healing. Why did someone make this spell where it's only touch? Like, I feel like I'm close enough to heal. You little stickler about the cubes.
Well, it's funny
Uh,
because the cubes don't actually.
He keeps putting us on like the little lines between them
Yeah.
instead of like the middle, and it's bugging me immensely.
I like to be
Yes,
precise.
you're not
I
precise.
don't like
That's the
it's
thing.
precise. It puts everyone further
I had
away.
17 movement and he was 15 away, and you told me I couldn't reach him.
Is this a wee mission save it priving Hera here?
What if I like slide in? Can I get the extra 7 feet?
Roll athletics, and we'll see. Let me know what you get.
Oh no!
What was it?
3.
Okay.
Just half your
So
movement.
you're gonna.
Even if I fall in, can I at least get close enough?
So you're
I
gonna.
feel like you're gonna fall on her and do more damage. Stop.
You're gonna make it to about here, and when you make it about there, you go for like a cool kind of slide, and as you go to position yourself, you just hit a rock with your foot, and you end up just kind of face planting in the dirt. But it wasn't bad enough to just be face planted in the dirt there. You at least recover enough to kind of roll over and kind of position yourself right here, which will be within 5 feet of Hera. That'll be all your movement.
Is this close enough to cast the spell? Like, I'm within 5 feet.
5 feet is melee. So
You're looking to do what now exactly?
I would like to use Restore Health.
I will say you can go ahead and cast that as you're laying on the ground there, and you kind of reach as much as you can. You're reaching out towards
Her very long
Hera.
legs are just in my direction, and I touch her foot.
You're able to just graze a spot on Hera's leg or foot,
Okay.
and that is going
Pass.
to that does 1d8 plus 4.
1d8 plus 4 is 9. But
I'm back
with
up.
any healing, I get an extra d6 to add
Mm-hmm.
with my class I chose, or
Mhm.
school. So let me... And it's a 6.
All
So
right.
it's
Whoa.
9 plus 6.
9 plus
nearly
6.
full health. Okay, 1 minute. 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I'm 1 above full health now. So I'm just gonna put myself to full health,
Okay.
and I am back up. I'm
All
back
right.
up.
At this point, you guys are both kind of prone on the ground.
Oh, no.
Pipra, thank you.
No problem.
Hera just saw.
Just see dirt on my face from face planting.
All right. If I'm not mistaken, is that's all your level 1 spell slots for now, isn't it, Pipra?
Yes,
That was your
it
last
is.
one. Oh.
No one go down.
Cantrip time.
Yeah, can't heal, but I can firebolt.
Okay. So after Pipra's crazy turn there, that's gonna give it to Kavian.
Well, I was hesitating for a bit, but after I saw Pippa took care of Hera, I listened to my brother,
Hmm?
and I'm just going to check if I don't think I can move my Hunter's Mark unless they're dead.
It'll still be. I think it'll still be on that guy.
Yeah, I can't use it unless he dies. So I'll just take a shot at the one Larry is fighting.
Okay.
Bro, y'all are not helping us at all.
There's a tree in between me and you.
I know, but I mean, this whole time y'all got after the one dude.
I know.
Have you ever seen a wolf in a fight? I'm locked on.
I got 18 to hit.
Taking out everyone
18?
and getting taken out.
Yep.
So.
18 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right.
10 damage.
Damage. All right. So you ready your bow, and using the encouragement from your brother, you kind of have this extra kind of sharp focus, and you let it go, and it flies. This is a pretty good distance. It manages to just go the arrow kind of just beneath some of the lower branches, just nearly missing them with pinpoint accuracy, and ends up striking him in kind of almost the side, but more kind of a mix between the side and the stomach, kind of halfway in between, kind of down there, and it kind of, stumbles him back a little bit. At this point, he's looking pretty rough and pretty winded, and he's, been stumbling a lot. He's trying to hold his balance, but he's not solidly on his feet. He's definitely really affected by all of this damage that he's just taken recently with that arrow, and of course the hit that he just took. Are you going to take any movement?
Yes, 10 feet to the left.
To the left towards the other tree?
Yep.
Okay. There. Okay. And is that everything?
Yep.
Alrighty. That is going to put the turns back in down here. So the first one down on the right is going to make his way. He's going to make his way behind the rock over here, and he's
sees a corpse.
He's entirely focused on moving on over there. So he's now out of sight from everyone, and he's totally put his mind to something else. Meanwhile, the one on the left is going to position himself up here. He's going to take all of his movement to get up there, and he's going to ready his bow, and he's this time looking at Kavian, who he's noticed is probably firing on who appears to be their leader. So he's going to take his bow, he's going to try to shoot Kavian, and it is going to be a 21 to hit.
It misses.
So he is fully, this is the confident one again. So now he's taken his aim at Kavian, who missed that shot so bad earlier. He's really feeling confident, feeling himself with this one, and it is going to do 7 points of piercing damage.
Oof.
Let me know what that puts you at.
Puts me at 11.
11. Okay. All right, and that is going to end that left one's turn, and then there's just the middle one who is going to. He's going to approach. He's going to get all the way up to.
I see this. I see it.
Okay, just check. Approaching Hera, and he's going to pull out the rapier, and they're going to get ready to strike. You guys are kind of prone, so you are in a bit of a pickle here. You're in a bit of a pickle here. So he's going to take out his rapier, and he's going to go to kind of swipe down, just kind of in your general direction. No real calculated aim or anything specifically like that, and it is going to be 13 on that attack.
This is on me?
Yep.
That hits.
All right, so that 13 to hit is going to do 3 points of slashing damage.
All right, I can deal with it. I'm down to 11.
All right.
I hate these dudes.
So he swipes down with his rapier, and no general strategic way of trying to hit, just trying to hit, like kind of like if you give a toddler like a little stick or something, and they're just gonna just swing back and forth everywhere and just try to hit something, and they end up they do hit Hera, but Hera kind of is able to kind of roll in a way that it just is a little scratch, a little graze along kind of the lower back maybe, as you kind of roll out of the real damage kind of range there. And that is going to end his turn, which gives it back to the big guy, big bad up top, who is going to... The big bad up top is going to, again, gonna move. So he's gonna take his max movement to try to get down here again. He's trying to stay away from Flaherty, but it's to no real avail. As he's taking his movement, though, or as he kind of approaches the end of his movement, he's got all those daggers in his belt, and he's gonna take out 2 of these daggers, and he is going to kind of look back towards Flaherty, who...
But doesn't Larry get an attack because he left?
That is true this whole time.
Yes, you can go ahead and take an attack of
I'm a
opportunity there.
dingus. I should have been doing that this whole
Had
time.
DM.
Bad player. Okay, it's just 10.
That is not gonna hit. Okay, so he manages to get free. He's pretty light on his feet. So he manages to get free, and he's pulling out these daggers, and he kind of looks back and tries to throw these in Flaherty's general direction. The first of the 2 is going to be a 14 to hit.
Nope.
You said no? Okay, so the first one, it's just gonna stick right into the side of the tree there. And then on the second one, natural 20. So on the second
Come at
one,
me, baby.
with his good hand, he throws the second one, and it's gonna just barrel straight towards Flaherty. No real way of getting out of that one, and it is going to do...
Nat 20s are crit, right?
Yep.
It is going to
So
do...
it's double damage?
But it's also half because Tharo's raging.
It is going to
Yep.
do... So
Cancel that.
the damage on the roll is 9, and because it's a crit, it's 18, and then that's halved again, so it's basically just 9.
9.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so it'll be 9 points of piercing damage.
I'm still up.
How much are you down to?
3.
3!
Ooh, this is rough.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Okay.
DM is really trying to kill us.
That is the end of his turn.
It's gonna be my last
And
magic missile,
that
then otherwise I can't help.
Gives it to Hera.
Okay. So I'm seeing Pipra right down beside me, and I'm getting on my feet.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to use my staff to get on my feet, and in one smooth movement, you're going to see the energy is coursing through me once again, right? Glowing just a tiny bit. And by the time I've swiveled up onto my feet, there's already 3 of these magical darts right in my hand, right at the tip of the staff.
Okay.
One of them, as I'm turning around, is shooting onwards towards the bad guy, the
Okay.
big bad guy in the back, the
Okay.
one that just nearly took down our Hulk.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
The other one, I am going to extend my staff out, and it's going to across the face of the guy that's right in front of me.
Okay.
And as I finish the spin, I'm just going to point the staff, and it's just going to go to the other bad guy that's all the way up, the confident one.
Okay, so 1 for each of them.
1 for each of them in sight, yeah.
All right. Go ahead and roll damage.
Here we go. It's going to be magic missile, and Big Bad gets a 4.
All right.
Guy in front of me gets a 3.
Okay.
And confident guy also gets a 3.
Right.
Time for some wild magic. I'm so sorry, Pipra. That's a 5. That's the closest it's been. That was a little bit dicey.
If I'm not mistaken, the roll just needs you to do.
It's not a natural one. Basically, if that was a natural 1, then wild magic happens, and that gets chaotic.
Yeah.
It can be good. It
'Cause
can be absolutely
what I'm-
terrible.
I'm just gonna double check one thing
Which is
here.
the reason why I go so far away from the party when I'm casting spells.
Ooh.
That's why I ran before I cast that first magic missile.
I'm about to play Wild Magic Herringon. For real, like Thursday, I think. That's when I start.
Okay. Sweet. So, on the main guy, who the first missile goes and hits, doesn't see it coming. Fully focused on Theleri and pretty scared of Theleri at this point. And as he's totally focused there, this first missile just kind of comes in, and it's going to hit him square in the side of the neck. And it is going to do a decent bit of damage to him. You can see like he's really bothered by it. It almost puts him prone to the ground, and he stumbles again, and he is, at this point, all focus is broken, all concentration is broken. He is just in pain, kind of reaches up for his neck. He's got this arrow in his side, and he's cut all over. And at this point, he is just a mess. He is just, there's no real anything going on in his mind other than, ouch, I'm in pain and I need to get out of here. And then the second one, you're going to hit right in front of you, and this person who's kind of standing over you just kind of made a strike with a rapier. As he's going to kind of pull it back up, this missile is going to hit him square in the forehead, and he's going to kind of stumble back a little bit, and it's actually going to put him back a little bit here. He's going to stumble back quite a bit because it was a pretty close strike right
Does
to the head.
Give me an attack of opportunity, or...
No, because as you attack, he's just going to kind of stumble. He's not moving. He's just being forced to move back as he's stumbling. And
he's not moving. He's just moving.
Yeah, and then the third one over to the side, who's totally focused on Kavian, is just going to have this missile kind of come in and just kind of pierce him in the side. He's going to kind of feel it a little bit and just kind of glance in your direction, but kind of refocus his attention towards Kavian, as that's who he's decided he wants to try to focus on. But other than that, are you going to take any movement?
The movement I take will to get Pipra on her feet and put myself in between the guy that's closest and Pipra.
Okay, sure. So you guys will pretty much just stay right there. I'll move you a little closer to Pipra though. I'll put you right here.
Basically, staff out like this, like I'm seeing the rapier coming again.
Okay.
I'm going, no, not Pipra.
There you go. And that moves it on to Theleri.
You know what I'm gonna do? Close the gap. Bonkty bonk bonk bonk.
All right.
Bonkity bonk.
It's bonk.
Wait.
18 hits. It doesn't matter what damage you roll. How would you like to do this?
So you know how chisels work, like a hammer and a chisel?
Okay. Well, as long as this isn't too graphic.
It's not gonna be too graphic. He's already got that little dagger in his neck.
The magic missile, yeah.
Or whatever it is, the magic missile.
Does this count as an assist?
I guess magic missile is more of an effect and not an actual weapon. Because I was gonna just tap that weapon deeper in.
Got an arrow.
He's got an arrow in his stomach.
No, I'm just gonna whack him.
Okay.
And I won't say what it does. Just know that it's gory.
So Great Axe gives him a big whack as he's just out of it, and that is enough to decommission the big bad here. And he is just going to be kind of at Theleri's feet in a lump of not alive.
Right. And I would like to, as that has happened.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like heaving in breaths because I've taken a lot of damage.
Yeah.
22 points of it to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, and then I turn and I set sights on the one near Pipra and Hera.
Okay. All right.
And can I use whatever movement I have left to start walking that way?
Yeah. I'll say you get like another beat because Macabre pretty good. You'll get a decent bit. Is that everything?
Yep.
Alrighty. That will move it on to Pipra.
As Hera is in front of me, defending from Dagger Dude, I'm gonna look over at Mr. Confident Bow Dude. and with fire in my eyes,
Okay.
and going to my staff,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna use Firebolt.
Okay. Roll the hit.
18.
That hits. Roll damage.
Stinking 3.
3. All right. So as you kind of turn to face this other one, you got I can kind of picture Hera square on facing the one on the road, and you kind of have your left shoulder to Hera's back, and you're pretty close, and you cast this fireball. You see Kavian kind of just off to your right, ever so diagonally towards the tree, and you're focused on this one who's focused on Kavian. You cast this fireball out in their general direction. Again, they're so focused on Kavian that they're just not ready, and they don't really see it coming. This is going to hit him square in the kind of side, halfway from the side to the stomach, kind of just square in the torso. And that is going to be enough to stumble them back a little bit. They're going to end up right up here a little bit, and that is going to be enough to break their focus off of Kavian, and they are now upset and kind of turn and look at you. They can kind of see you're the one who cast it, and so they kind of fully focus on you.
I smirk.
All right. They get this kind of look on their face. You can kind of see from a distance this look of like just it kind of made them even more upset when he smirked. Like they're really really mad. Okay, and are you going to take any movement, or is that all?
No, I'll stay by Hera.
Okay. Then
I can't do anything healing wise for anyone else. I'm out of spell slots, so.
Kavian, it is on you.
I want to run to the middle of the road, kind of close to where Hera and Pipra is.
Mm-hmm.
And I will then shout, Flaring, come over here, fast. As I shoot at the guy who kept shooting at me.
Okay. Roll the hit. You do have Hunter's Mark on him.
Yeah. 24.
That hits.
Woo!
Goodness.
Is that a crit, or do you just have that much
Nope,
of a
that's
bonus?
not a crit.
Cool.
10 plus 14 damage.
He had 4 health. How would you like to do this?
I just take an arrow clean through his throat or something, just goes through, it doesn't stick.
Right.
It just
as you're kind of running over to regroup with Hera and Pipra, you just kind of let this arrow fly like mid-stride, and it was the most perfect arrow. It just whizzes through, and as he's focused on Pipra, he kind of turns and notices you doing this, and as he notices it, it just and he just kind of falls back to the ground, and he didn't really have much of a say in that one, which is going to put him out of commission. And I take it that'll be your turn?
Yep.
All right. On that note, it is going to go to the bad guys. So
It's just the one.
It's
There's
2.
one behind the rock.
Two.
That's
Oh,
kind of
okay, yeah.
being- yeah.
So the one behind the rock is going to make his way. So he's going to make his way up here. And this is as Thaleri is running towards the group. So I'm going to go ahead and say Thaleri doesn't notice this as he's making his way up there. The other one, who is now in a bit of a pickle, the tides have turned, is going to back himself up.
Ooh, I would like to do this opportunity now.
You are more than 5 feet away. You still able for an opportunity attack in that case.
Let me check. More than 5 feet?
Yeah, more than 5 feet.
I can. Does it have to be like a like a physical attack, or am I capable of casting spells too?
I would say...
Because it doesn't matter. I've got a hand axe. I'm just seeing which I can do.
I would say it'd have to be a physical one.
All right, hand axe it is. I'm chucking it.
Okay, all right. Yeet.
So I'm gonna yeet the axe, and that's going to be well. I don't think that hits. It's a 5.
That does not hit.
Okay,
So,
cool. Well,
as he's kind of backing up and kind of trying to get some distance, you throw this hand axe and it just kind of whiffs by him and kind of sticks in the dirt, kind of to the side. And as he's moving his way back, he's gonna kind of look back and be like, just kind of give you this look of like, this look of like, that almost killed me. That could have been bad. And he's just gonna kind of keep on going. And as he kind of gets to the end of his movement, he's going to pull his bow back out as he puts his rapier away now, not trying to 1v3 you in melee. He's going to take aim, and it's going to be at Hera, since Hera's in the front of the group.
it's fine.
And this is going to be only an 8, which
It does not hit.
So as he takes this bow back, and he's kind of, on the back foot now, realizing that he is now at a big disadvantage here, shoots the arrow, and it's aimed at Hera, but it doesn't quite reach. It falls short and kind of sticks in the dirt right in front of you guys. Didn't account for the new distance between himself and the 3 of you. And that is going to end his turn and the other one's turn, who is not going to take an attack, but rather just kind of doing a thing. Which puts
He's
it
sneaking around.
Yeah, which puts it back to Hera's turn.
Cool. Question.
Yep.
My wild magic, is it first level and above, or is it also cantrips? Is it just any magic?
So it will be, I can open up the thing here, because
I just forget.
all of it was custom altered. Let me see. Also, I think my Spotify muted again, because Discord's weird. Yep.
Yeah, Discord's a bit weird.
So it's only first level or higher that you have to do it.
Excellent. So I'm gonna stick with the group, and that's going to be Firebolt directly at the guy who's just run away that I just whiffed an axe on.
Roll the hit.
So Firebolt, it's just laser fire, like a big flame directly at him. To hit, this is going to be a 13. Does that hit?
That hits.
Okay, excelente. And damage is going to be a 3.
All right. So as their arrow comes up short and they kind of lower the bow and kind of study the situation, the first thing they see is just Firebolt just coming right at them, and they try to react, and it's enough to not have it hit them square in the face, but they still do take it in kind of their upper shoulder area, and it's enough to kind of swing them to the side, and they kind of almost do like a 360, like a twirl after getting hit with such an impact. And you can see from a distance it looks to be like almost like singe marks or like a burnt kind of patch up on the shoulder, and it looks pretty affected by it, and even more kind of upset and also kind of fearful at this point, realizing just how dire this situation is, and he's just gonna kind of recoup and regroup himself there, and that will be on to Flaherty then.
Have I noticed the guy closer to me yet?
No, he has not made any attacks or anything like that. As you were running across, or kind of equivalent to the north of the rock, he was coming from the south of the rock, to where you were both out of sight of each other for the most part.
And the guy that's running away,
On the road is, you can see him, yeah, you can see him down the road.
how far away is he?
He is... He's about 70 to 75 feet away.
Alright, I'd like to yeet a javelin, I think. I gotta look at the range on it.
Okay. You could also move to get closer and then throw it.
Nah, because you take penalties if you're too close, so I'm just gonna yeet this javelin at him.
Javelin yacht.
I got a 20.
Ooh, dirty 20.
Yeah, dirty.
Nice.
That is, that I mean, hey, that hits for sure.
It does 4 + 2, 6.
How would you like to do this?
He go, I'm gonna hit his little right in the cheek,
Right in the cheek.
the booty cheek.
All right. So as you kind of get this javelin out from a really far distance away from behind the group, they don't even see you getting this javelin out, and they just hear this whoosh, and they just kind of look up to the side. They just see this javelin just lasering towards the guy as he's kind of stumbling and running back, and it just square in the cheek, and he just falls right down face first into the dirt, and he's just not moving anymore. And he's just got the javelin kind of marking where he fell down at this point, and he is decommissioned right about there.
What we do to those that run away in combat.
And that is, are you going to take movement after that?
I'm gonna get closer to the group because at this point I think that we've got everybody.
Yeah,
I
you're going to
other
get
guy.
right up with the group? You have enough?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to kind of get up to the group. You guys are all kind of regrouped there. And that is...
I don't know about the other guy.
I'm going to give it to Pipra. You're muted.
Would he be within range for me to sense his presence?
We saw him. He was part of the group of 3. We
You-
saw him.
But
You
knowing
know-
where he is.
You don't know exactly where he is. You just know where he went. Like, you know he
Okay.
kind of went towards the rock area. That's about it.
Then I will head to the top part of the rock as far as I can get, just like in that area to try and see him. Kind of looking around the
Okay.
rock.
So you will get to about here. Is that correct? To where you wanted to try to go?
Can I see him?
From there, you can see, you can just start to see him
Okay.
right at the end of your...
Enough to firebolt at him?
Yes.
Flames away.
Flame on.
Roll the hit.
13.
Yo, hot man.
13 hits.
Nice. I roll low damage again.
9.
9.
Wow. All right, so this person has no idea that he was known for the most part, not expecting anything incoming. And so as Pipra comes up around the side of the rock and gets his firebolt ready and throws it, casts it off in the direction of him, he's not even looking, not even pay attention. His focus seems to be elsewhere, not really sure where. And this fireball comes in and it hits him square in the side of the head. It's going to be enough to throw him to the ground, where he's now going to be kind of prone. And as he's kind of gathering his senses again and kind of realizing what's going on, Pipper, you can see that like the entire side of his head is just burnt to a crisp, and it's there's even like little embers and little flames still going on like the side, and it's just really like jarring kind of look on the side of his face. Like that
I
messed
wasn't
him up.
trying to be gruesome.
That messed him up. And so that is going to then give it to Kavian.
Okay, am I within 5 feet of Larry?
Yes.
Okay, I'll put my hand on his shoulder. And
Okay.
I will cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Whoa,
You have cure wounds? That's so cool.
that just blew my mind.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do
Just
that.
one.
I hope you feel better. Thoughts and prayers.
You
that
tried
goes.
your best.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm new to this. I just learned.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
Best I got.
Theo,
But, take
I
care.
feel so
Your
much
cam is
better.
really blurry.
Larry, oh, bugger, wouldn't mean. Follow it. Follow it.
Hey, there you go.
There we go. It sometimes does that.
Yeah. It had just been blurry for a while, so I was gonna let you know.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes it
then
does that and you
I
turn
am-
it off.
Noticing Pipra shooting at someone behind that rock, I want to run up to the middle of the road, 35 feet. Where does that get me?
35 feet, you say?
That'll
Yeah.
get you pretty much
Nice.
back up to that original tree that you were, or that Slavery and the Big Bad were at.
Yeah, and that lets me see him.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll cast Hunter's Mark on him, but I can't do any more damage.
Okay. All right, and that'll be your turn?
Yep.
Alrighty.
I want to, while Flary's like right beside me, just like in between turns, I'm gonna say, Flary, if you're moving, stay close. I think I can help you out here.
Okay, there you go. And this is gonna put the turn on to this guy, who, at this point, with this smoldering half of his face just burnt to a crisp, and he's
making him look like Anakin on Mustafar.
and he's just
I
was thinking more of like a Two-Face, but he's kind of sitting there. He kind of props himself.
How I got these scars.
He kind of props himself up and kind of
Careful the coin.
sitting there on the ground, and he kind of notices Kavian, and he notices Pipra, and how rough of shape he is. He takes his rapier, and he just throws it off to the side. Takes his bow, throws it off to the side, and he just kind of sits there and just kind of watches, and in this kind of desperate attempt at like, don't kill me kind of a thing. And he's not going to move at all. He's just going to be sitting there, which is going to give it to Hera.
All right.
Question: if he surrendered, does it end combat?
Combat's not over yet.
Okay. So I am going to use my sorcerer points to regain my my very last level 1 spell slot. And while Thalari's in range, and this is risky because Thalari is in range, that is going to be that is going to be restore health, if that's okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna touch Thalari and go, here. I think I can do a little better of a job, and that's 8 HP.
That was yeah, that'll do good. All right. Roll yourself a 20.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's a nat 20, okay.
Okay, all right, there you go.
What does that do on the wild magic
The
scale?
furthest thing from a bad situation. There you go.
Okay.
You were so confident, you weren't even worried. Didn't even.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, totally, I've got this.
Didn't even cross the mind.
Risk of channeling chaotic forces of eldritch nature.
All right. So, is there going to be any movement that you do?
I'm just gonna pat Flare on the back and go, "You've done really well. Good job, King," and just run towards Pipra.
All right.
Because I can see them in combat already, and I'm like, okay, what else can I do here? I've still got my cantrips. I've still got energy left in me.
You'll get to right next to Pipra.
Excellent.
All right, and that will give it to Flairi.
See all of them going that way, so I'm gonna go as well. Am I able to like reach that point, see him over there, and close the gap?
Yeah, you can get. Let's see if you go. Yeah, you can get to about here. You can get pretty close.
I don't want to get that close.
Okay.
I don't think, because then I can't.
Do you want to get kind of in line with Hera and Pipra?
Yes, as long as I can see him.
Yeah, you can see him.
And then I'll throw. Well, actually, I might need to be closer.
Okay.
Yeah, where I originally was.
Okay.
Is that about 20 feet away?
That is, yeah.
Okay. And I'd like to throw a hand axe at him.
He's unarmed!
He surrendered!
He don't care.
All right. Yeah. Roll the hit.
It's an 11.
Because he's sitting down, that's gonna hit. And he's just kind of sitting there, and yeah, it doesn't matter what damage you roll, that's gonna kill him.
Oh no!
Oh no!
How would you like to do this?
I was gonna try and interrogate him.
I'm still in a rage, guys. I'm still in a rage.
To be fair, Flairi didn't see him throw his weapons out or anything.
No. I'm in a rage. I see everybody running over here. I got bombed. Bitches. Does about what you'd expect an axe going at a human to do.
All right.
Oh, no.
It's gonna hit him. Yeah, it's just gonna hit him clean in the face, and it's really gonna divide.
Why
the
do you
two
always
different...
have to go in the face?
It's gonna divide the two different sides of the
Oh,
face really
no.
nicely, as
Ah!
he falls back to the ground, and he's just
Poor dude.
down for the count. All right, and with that,
You know, surgeons have been trying to do this forever.
with that, combat is over.
That's it. That would do it.
I'm just gonna kind of be like, Clary,
I'm just gonna give.
you
Pippa
didn't
a
have
look,
weapons.
He needed to die.
I'm gonna walk over to the main leader dude and
Mhm.
search him.
Okay.
I'm retrieving all my arrows.
All right.
I would like to go and search in order the guy who ran behind the rock that I killed first. The guy who took me down and then ran behind the rock, the one that just got by
Mhm.
Flaherty. And then the guy with the rapier.
All right. We'll go one at a time here. So,
Okay.
I think we can close out. I don't think at this point. As Pipra goes and investigates the big bad and tries to see what's going on there, what's up there. You walk up to him and he's a mess. He definitely had a lot that was into him, and you know it's definitely, you know, a notable bit. Also, all my things are scuffed here. I don't know why all the cams. Anyway, whatever.
I don't like gory scenes, but I have seen my fair share of them as well.
So
I'd like to retrieve my weapons.
and
Oh, yeah,
retrieve
let me
your
go and get
weapons
my
as well.
axe as well.
I was
Nice.
gonna say you got a hand axe in the
I
dirt.
just-
Everyone's got their stuff. All right.
Yeet.
So you approach the big bad, and you can see a little closer this man of elven descent. That he's pretty tall. You know, what he's wearing was pretty similar to the rest of them. They all had these different, you know, variations of kind of like a leathery armor, kind of a not consistent and not very high quality or well put together kind of attire about them. And you kind of get the feeling that these were just some kind of bandits of some sort. And you see his rapier off to the ground, to the side of him, and within like his pockets and stuff, all you can really find are 6 silver pieces and a couple of little they kind of look like some sort of snack almost. You're not really familiar with it. These little kind of tan pieces of what you think to be food of some sort, but you know, they're of no real significance as far as you can tell. And that's about all that he had in his pockets. Roll an investigation check though.
13.
Okay. That is yeah, I mean, beyond that, on him, you don't notice anything else. But when you kind of look over to the rapier to the side, you do notice that this rapier has these ornate kind of carvings down the blade, these kind of symbols down the blade. Maybe not symbols, but maybe more of this just consistent design kind of carved out on the blades in this kind of whitish color. And then on the hilt, it's black, but it's got little accents of kind of a silvery color as well. Something that you wouldn't expect just, you know, normal bandits to be carrying by any means. But it did catch your attention.
I will walk over and pick up his rapier.
Okay. As for Hera, the first one you were checking, which was which one?
The one that I initially took down, though, with the two the 2/3 of my magic missile.
Okay. So as you approach that, also, Pipra, make sure you add, if you're taking that silver, make sure you add it to your inventory.
I already did.
All right. So as you check over this body, Hera,
Prices in Merite are
Mhm.
ridiculous. Gotta get every penny I can.
as you're checking this body over, you don't really notice anything of too real importance by the looks of it. Kind of this tattered mix of leathery types of armors and such like that. No real distinguishing features on the face or anything you might recognize. As you check in the pockets, you find 3 silver pieces in one of the pockets. And other than that, the rest of them are just kind of empty. You do notice that this one had a couple of the daggers kind of in the belt. Roll an investigation check for me.
I will do exactly that. Investigation. Well, I'll do that, but I won't do well. It's a 9.
So you don't notice anything particularly interesting that catches your eye about the daggers or any of the weaponry or anything like that. Just that this one had daggers, and you don't remember them all having daggers. So it seemed like maybe some of them did, maybe only
Can I
one
take
did.
the daggers?
You can take the daggers. There are 3 of them.
I'd like to take the daggers. I'd like to take all 3 if that's okay.
All right, you can take all 3.
I'm just gonna add some daggers to my inventory.
All right, and
Should probably add a rapier to my inventory.
Kavian, you at this point, I'll say you've gotten all the arrows picked up. Is there anything specific you're doing after you get all your arrows back?
Yes, that archer that shot me, I'm gonna take his arrows as well.
Okay, there you go.
Arrows as well.
When you approach him and you kind of check for how many arrows he's got, you notice that he has 6 arrows.
All right. Does he have anything else on him?
When you check the pockets, you find 3 silver pieces, and that's pretty much all you find in his pockets. However, if you would like, you can roll an investigation check to see if you see anything further.
Yep. Oof, that's a 4.
All right. You don't notice anything else of note. Just seems like some average bandit of some sort. All you really can think of is the silver pieces and the arrows. Is you got what you wanted.
All right.
All right. And for Thaleri, you doing at this point?
I've just retrieved my weapons. I'm not really into looting the bodies.
All right. Just
Believe it or not.
making your way back to the group.
I'd like to try to find the horses.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd probably walk up the road, see if I can spot the horses as well.
Okay. How about Thaleri and Pipra? Both roll a perception check.
Oh no.
You see 2 tiny specks in the background dashing at high velocity towards the next town.
I got a
16.
14.
16 and 14. All right. So as you guys are kind of changing your attention to kind of look for the horses, and you look ahead of you, it takes a little bit, but eventually you do see, as they kind of make themselves known from behind like a couple of trees, off in the distance by a good bit, more than 100 feet away, pretty far away, but you do see them, and they both seem to be together. There's nothing else around them or going on. They've just cleared themselves from the area.
I'm gonna whistle to him, try and call him over.
All right.
I'll do the same.
All right. You both whistle, and they turn their attention to you, but they don't really approach you. They just kind of look over at you, and you kind of have their attention.
I guess I'll start walking over there.
All right.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I was trying not to have to walk, but DM said no.
I'm gonna walk in the other direction. I'm gonna get my hand axe that I yeeted and search the guy with the rapier that was bearing down on me while I have my staff like that.
Okay. So you get your hand axe back, and as you check this individual in the pockets, you find 3 silver. But
Nice.
other than that, the pockets don't seem to have anything. They were traveling very light, almost as though they weren't traveling very much at all, and we're pretty close to where they might have their other stuff. Roll an investigation check.
Investigation going again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this time it's a little better. That's a 20, Dirk.
All right. So when you take a closer look at this one, you notice there's no daggers on this one, but the rapier that this one holds
Which I will
has...
as well loot.
All right. As you pick up this rapier, you see it's got a black hilt. It's got some silver kind of accents to it, and then the blade has these black kind of wavy, intricate details and accents along the silver blade, and it looks like something that would cost a decent bit, and something that you wouldn't expect anybody like these guys to have on them.
I think it was stolen. Ba-ba-bum.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably stole these nice rapiers from somewhere.
Yeah, I'm just gonna show this off. I'm just gonna hold it up and go, "Hey!" And rapier's above my head. I think they stole this.
I'm gonna hold up the one I picked up too. Yeah, I think so too.
I'm just gonna holster my hand axe that I yacht so recklessly.
Okay.
And I'm gonna walk towards the final, so far unlooted guy up just at the top, the confident one.
Okay. The confident one was looted by Kavian.
Oh, okay. Kavian got them. Okay, cool.
All right. So is that everyone regrouping?
I am happy to regroup.
Yep.
We'll bring the horses back.
So I figure that, did I figure that, like, their thingy was quite close to here? Like, where they came from was quite close to here?
You got the impression that they weren't far from where they may be originally from, as if they were, they might have more on them in the way of kind of supplies and stuff. They had very little.
Well, I'd like to just I'd like to look around, see if I can see anything like that big rock formation. What's the chances I can climb up and see, like, either where we're going or where they came from?
Well, you can certainly try.
Okay.
Figured some answer like that was coming.
Will that be athletics?
Go ahead and roll athletics, yeah.
Okay, doke. Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no.
So
that's a nat 1.
So as you go to kind of grip up on this rock and try to climb it, you do manage to get the first step, and then you go and you're trying to get up, but then you just grab the wrong spot and you lose all your grip and you end up falling down the rock. You were about halfway, a little bit more up. You fall down, you land straight on your back, and you're gonna take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
I don't even have a spell slot to counter that with Featherfall either. Okay, 3 points.
I know this under the rock is cookies.
Oh, hey, look, you were right. Perfect.
Can I do an investigation to try and see if I can find out where they came from? Like follow footsteps, broken grass, twigs.
Yes, you can roll
anything?
Investigation to look for something like that.
Oh, it's almost natural 20.
It is a 3. So, as far as you can tell, the only thing you really know is that they weren't here by chance. It seemed like a kind of usual spot for them to be, almost like an ambush spot for people who may be traveling on the road. But beyond that, you have no idea.
Well, I want to start grabbing the bodies and just pull them by legs or arms and then put them up to the rocks, kind of sitting upwards.
Okay.
And then do I ask if anyone has any paper, an ink and quill, anything to write with?
Oh, give me a second. I'm gonna look through my backpack. Nothing of the sorts. I'm sorry.
Right, I can use my dagger on the rock probably. And
I don't have anything either.
I'll just write bandits, use my dagger on the wall, and just kind of
Okay.
very roughly write These were
This
bandits.
looks like an omen or something. It's like bandits
Bandits.
beware.
And then a small smiley face in the corner somewhere.
Okay.
I'm sure the town guard will come and pick these up at some point, most likely.
We can let them know when we reach the town.
Yeah.
Right. So are you guys back on, or have you approached the horses at this point?
Yeah.
That's up to you if we've made it the distance and brought them back, but that's what we would be going to do.
Okay. Say Pipra and Thaleri, you've reached the horses, and the other two are just behind by the rock. Harry and Kavian are kind of back there still.
We just kind of bring up the horses and be like, let's get into town.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it.
All right. Same configuration as previously?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably yeah.
All right. So
Animal
you guys
handling?
get back on the... No, you don't have to roll again.
Okay.
You guys get back up on the horses and continue on down the road that you were originally traveling. At this point, the sun is approaching the end of its cycle through the sky. It is not quite sunset yet, but it's later in the day, for sure. And out ahead of you, it's still open savanna, and the road just kind of cuts through. But you do see up a little ways is an intersection in roads.
Question.
Yeah.
Have we encountered sand yet?
Along this journey?
Yes.
No.
Okay. That's all.
Would I know history check wise whether we would encounter sand?
Along this general route you're taking?
Yeah, just along the general route we're taking, like in the direction of Scotia.
Is that where you're heading towards Scotia? Or are you heading?
Sorry, Alabat.
Okay. You will know that there will not be sand unless you take a detour.
So-
Okay. I hate sand. Coarse.
Okay.
Rough.
All right.
Gets all over the place.
All right.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, Hera having a near-death experience there and completely exhausting every magical power in her body is just gonna be so exhausted. Like,
Yeah. Pepper's pretty tired as well.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
You guys
You said
approach this intersection in the road. See pretty far ahead. There's no road that goes straight. It turns either right or left, and you see pretty far off in the distance. You see a mountain making itself known. And to the left, when you look, you can see the road kind of extends onward into open savanna, and you don't really see anything too notable other than even further off in the distance in that direction, there seems to be a pretty sizable mountain range. And when you look to the right, you see open savanna, and the road just kind of cuts through it ever so slightly, winding a little bit here and there, but for the most part pretty straight. Right at kind of the edge of your vision, really, really far off, you can't really tell how far you see a river, what looks to be a river kind of cutting through the open savanna.
that's where we're going. We'll head to, well, if we're at that crossroads, we're heading to the right, I think.
yeah.
Right? You turn off to the right and start making your way down there on horseback at, I assume, the pace that you were going previously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do see the occasional kind of merchant caravan kind of stroll by. Occasionally you might see what appears to be just another adventurer or so, just making their way through the roads. See a couple people who look to be kind of officials within the province, kind of carrying the colors and this kind of more expensive looking armor, types like that. Just kind of, I guess, patrolling to the best of your guess as you go. You guys gonna be talking about anything as you're on the road?
I am far too exhausted to talk.
I was gonna
so
say,
I'm
we're
just
just
gonna
trying to
be-
get to the
I'm
destination.
1,000-mile stare, just like trying to thingy the horse. A thingy the horse.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
what?
I'm exhausted in real life too. No, I'm gonna try and drive the horse. Yeah, we'll call it drive. Driving the horse. I'm shifting like just in first gear, just. No, we're just trying to get to Bellatel, and I'm just trying to keep a handle of this animal.
Okay. So as you carry on and time passes, minutes, and yeah, an hour, just over an hour, sun is approaching the kind of sunset state. It's starting to kind of just meet with the horizon a little bit. Vast colors are starting to fill the sky. And you pass by the occasional traveler, the occasional merchant, and official, whoever it might be, paying no real mind to him, as you guys are pretty exhausted. And eventually, this river that kind of cuts through the open savanna makes itself more and more known. And as it draws closer, you can start to see off in the distance what looks to be a little settlement right on the intersection of the road and the river. And this place doesn't look all too big. It's comparable in size to the town of Sin that you were at not all that long ago. It does not compare to the city of Learston by any means. And it looks like a humble little place, but you can definitely get the idea that it sees a lot of people coming through, as it's kind of on a hot spot of the roads, and also being on the river as well definitely helps in that regard. And over time, as you draw closer and the sun kind of gets more into a solid sunset state, you eventually reach the town of Beltal, where
Nice.
sitting perfectly on the intersection of road and river, the small town of Beltal plays an important part in trade across Meritea. The buildings follow the cues of the sister settlements throughout the province, white and gray stone variations accented by spruce and oak woods. There's a lumber mill on the river here, and a bustling tavern in the town center. A couple various shops litter the main roadway, including a blacksmith, a tailor, alchemist, and so on. Located in the heart of the Marin Savannah, there's no mountains nearby or any other notable features in the landscape, for that matter. Stables are very busy here, with the town acting as a crossroads for much of any trade that travels through southern Blutora. There are no walls around the town, but there are gateways into the settlement along the main roads that enter and exit. The Meritea colors are proudly on display in banner form, hanging on the walls of these gateways, and the town guards stand watch from the open second floor of these gateways. And that is where we leave off for today.